Going, everybody? Um, I suggest we move up the operating budget discussion to the
Yes.
first item. So they're going through all this.
What are you gonna do, privilege in the floor, you know?
Well, if they're here for this, it's an agenda item.
Yeah.
Oh, just let me know when we're good. Okay. Oh, here's my agenda. Thank you. I just, one pile too many.
This is close.
10 off, but we still need to talk.
Yes.
Well, I did want to do it. Shoot. I did want to talk. Yeah, we haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I have some that said. Yeah.
Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, 18 March 2026, and this is a regular meeting of the Waterloo Valley Select Board. Rich Rita Chair, Wendy Rathaway Vice Chair, Dan Bancroft Select Board Member, so we have a quorum. Is everybody comfortable? We need to have a short non-public, so everybody's got to leave for like 3 or 4 minutes. So I need right now. So I need a motion to go into non-public for legal reasons.
I'll make a motion to go non-public for legal reasons.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
You let us know when
Yeah.
we're off. Sorry about this, everybody, but actually, we're not going to talk about that. We decided to put it off. Did you shut the door on your way out? Well, after Brooke is gone. Probably, well,
Yeah, just step off them.
yeah, just,
I'll get you.
Yeah.
Are we off?
Just so we know the, yeah.
Okay, so let us continue on with our agenda. Now, we had the budget discussion on the agenda, several items down, but first, let me ask, is anyone here for the privilege of the floor that is something that is not on the agenda? Alan?
Virgo Jennings Peak Road. Whatever happened with the water rights contract we were negotiating with the resort?
The water, easement, discussion with them about the,
The water that's coming out of Corcoran Pond?
yes, we stopped at a certain point, because we turned to other things. We do have our legal firm, reviewing that and other easements, and we're waiting back from them to
Okay, so
give us
nothing's
advice.
finalized. Okay.
Oh, no, we have a lot to talk about, but they have the right to take out as much water as they want from the pond. That's in the easement. It's not a contract,
Thanks.
it's an easement. Yeah. Okay, if that takes care of privilege of the floor, I'd like to exercise my privilege as the chair to move up the review of the 2026 town operating budget, move it up 3 or 4 items.
That before we do our organization, so we know that you're still the chair, because if not, I would like to nominate you to be the chair.
We could, all right, let's get our reorganization out of the way.
You know, so we don't forget about it.
All right, let's do the reorg real quick. So, I have one nomination for chair.
Rich is gonna be the chair.
Is that
Yeah.
the second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so Wendy, I'll do you the favor back
Okay.
and nominate you to be the vice chair. We have a second for that?
I will second.
All in favor?
And I'm the remaining.
Aye.
captain.
But,
And I'm the leftover, otherwise known as the leftover.
we do have to reorganize what we supervise in terms of committees. And I would like to ask Dan if you would replace me as the select board ex officio on the planning board.
And I will do that.
Great, thank you very much. And Wendy, would you continue on with the community power?
Well, I'm not, but municipal solid
It's for
waste.
solid waste, but I
Yes.
think there's stuff that's gonna be happening on the CPC.
If I could help with
and-
the CPC.
Yeah, I think we
want
want to keep a select board finger in that.
Sure.
To help if they have any questions.
Sure.
And we talked about, oh, thank you for that. We talked about creating a financial advisory committee. So we'll talk more about that, but I think we're in agreement to do that, and then I will work with that committee.
Perfect.
So I think that covers all our responsibilities.
Thank you for letting me squeeze that in.
Not a problem. Okay. Town operating budget. All right, so we've reworked some numbers. Steve, do you want to take it from
Yeah.
here? It's the new charts we have?
Yeah, be happy to. So in your packet, I provided you with 2 different alternate budgets. One that represents a budget that has our new town manager salary at 9 months for the year, and one that represents funding that position and all the benefits associated with it for 8 months of 2026. And in addition to that, the department heads, a couple of the department heads did provide me with some additional adjustments last night that's reflected in these 2 new budgets.
The 8-month budget, if you will, for the town manager is higher than the 9-month, and that can't be if they're the same. Other than,
What line item are we looking at?
If you look,
I'm looking at the
bottom
total.
line.
if you look at the
Line.
9-month, then you'll see it's down to 7,225,889. And the 8-month is down to
oh, reduction. is what I was looking at.
$7,079. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha, I was looking at the reduction number, never mind.
no problem.
Okay.
So based on our 2 meetings of work and further work by the department heads, we have right now some outstanding questions, but the bottom line we're looking at is roughly $10,000 over 7 million if we go with the 8-month for the contract for the town manager, and what was the other number again?
We're about 26,000
And that-
short.
That would
Seven
be
26.
726. Okay, so if everyone's agreeable, why don't we start there and start, first of all, make a decision there, and then I think we had other items we wanted to come back and talk about, and like yesterday, we'll go through this and then we'll open it up for any comments or questions. Just take notes. Thank you.
Yeah, I still feel strongly we should go for the 9 month.
Okay, so let's start from that position. We have another 26K we need to reduce.
Yep.
roughly.
Just starting right at the very top, town meeting expenses, did we know that we were going up 4,000 on that? Like, did we get an estimate from the general?
Absolutely. Yep.
So that's his,
That was under the assumption that we needed his support for a second night of town meeting.
So the same thing
Is
for
there-
next year.
or this is already expended,
Already expended.
gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we're assuming we may have to do 2 nights, and that's what's built in. on
We
town
did do
meeting.
two.
We did
today.
do two
And that
nights.
was paid for.
Right,
Yeah,
That's the difficulty of the
right.
calendar year.
Which end
but
you
right,
going at?
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
In other
Thank-
words, that
thank you
money's
for
already gone.
clarifying that.
Yeah.
okay.
okay, so Wendy is still good with 9. I mean, the difference is 16,000. We're getting down to really fine details here, and we still have other things to talk about.
Mhm.
Dan, you say, you'd rather have 8
8
months for calculate for 8 instead of
Well-
9?
9 is April 1st. And Mickey Mouse says it's March 18th right now. March 19th is tomorrow. I'm assuming that somebody wouldn't be able to start immediately.
But if they could start a month from, if we
Right.
were to be able to offer them a
Yeah.
position, like within a day or so, it would just give us a couple more weeks of flexibility.
Yeah.
I mean,
One approach would be to. We had to leave contingency higher
Mhm.
and. As we have it right now, sitting at 100. And then go with the. 9 month, but
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. I mean, we
the
could just,
alternative is to go to the 8 month and sort of. Plan that, but obviously we're trying to get a town manager, just for everybody's sake, we're interviewing town manager candidates tomorrow.
Yep.
It'll be a long day
the final, interview,
and
I hope.
yeah, these are supposed to be the final interviews. We'll see how the candidates do. We're hoping to make a decision soon thereafter. And then the question is when would that person start? Would they start nearly immediately, April 1st, or would they start, for instance, May 1st? And that's the TBD, and that TBD has an impact on the overall budget numbers by I'm not sure how much it is, but it's a significant margin there.
We just cut the solid waste membership dues and training. Down 7,300, it'll be 6,700 total.
Okay, and what is that?
Reason for that is Jen got a scholarship for the program she started.
Nice.
He's going to.
Congratulations to her for doing that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Megan?
Yep, so it'll go down, from 14 to 67,
Okay,
so 6,700.
Before we look at that, I just need to know which option, if we can do,
Right,
hopefully get.
well,
the
that plays
resolution.
into it. I mean, I'm thinking 9 months and then,
We'll start with a 9 month.
yeah. We'll use a 9 month spreadsheet.
and if we really can't get to the bottom, then we have the 8 month as
Okay.
a plan B.
Right.
Right,
What's the final number?
6,700.
all right, so we're down to about 20,
So,
about 20,000 we gotta come up with.
Yeah.
With the questions, we still need to
18,500.
18.5, okay.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe we wanna potentially leave contingency to the last thing we
Last.
talk about.
Okay.
Let's let it just sit at 100, sitting at 100K right now.
Okay,
Um,
I have one question if you're,
yeah, I have one comment before we move.
okay,
Top line. I want to reduce that one by whatever my stipend is, and I want to add that to the merit pay pool. Okay? I just want to shift my
okay,
stipend to
so
the
that
merit
doesn't
pay
have,
pool.
that does not
It has
have
a
a
zero
impact.
impact overall, but I want that to happen in the budget. Okay? So that takes us to, what is it, 16.6 or something? in the
Yeah,
merit pay
it would
pool.
add, I think
Okay.
it would add 1,500, is that what it
Is
is?
it 15? I don't know, what is it? You tell me, Steve.
I
don't know.
believe it's 1,500.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
all right, we'll just shift that.
I never know how much I make.
Okay,
Ask my wife.
so, one of the outstanding questions, I think, Brooke, I asked, and, David, Chief Noise, what is the cost, the expense, let me put it that way, for the casting for Kirby? I think you said you thought it was around 6,000, but it was in various places.
No, it's almost entirely in the recreation department
Right.
budget for 6,000.
Right.
The part that was referred to with Dave's budget was simply the stickers and the police presence where, right, so it was kind of, but the majority of the event.
So it's six. I had
It's
six
not a part
down.
of the cut As it stands.
As it stands right now. And that would not have a really a much of an effect on your part of that, Chief, in terms of expense.
No, we did have some, some hours of, where some officers would stay later just to help us.
Right,
Whether it's set up or a breakdown or the event.
all right.
Brooke, is that majority of that expense in the special events recreation line,
No part.
parks?
All right, what's the board thinking about that amount? It's similar to the other things that we have. We have
Can we put that,
tentatively cut,
can we put that to the end with contingency as well?
okay,
I'm
Okay.
wondering if we can look at the DPW labor position.
yeah, no, I mean, we can go back and look at that. I was just rolling down the list of
Yeah,
what we had said, but if you want to talk about something
because we had
additional,
we talked about delaying that until July,
right?
but as
Where
we
is that
are,
list?
as we are looking at potentially reorganizing the MSW collection system. Megan, what are your thoughts on perhaps even taking that to a quarter year as opposed to a half year for that DPW person? Just to be able to have that presence for the winter if needed.
Well, I think we were trying to get somebody in as quickly as possible since they've been down a man and
Yeah,
it's been an issue.
I guess it depends on whether the board wants to do that restructuring of how we service solid waste or not.
yeah. All right,
Or, okay,
so that's something we'll have to come back to with that discussion.
I think so.
Okay.
So I would like to move on to a couple other things. I have, I guess, a walk-on as well. I want to look at the library line. Now, we cut it from 5 to 2,500. And I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, there's something like $10,605 in their account right now. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
From their statement of revenues and expenses balance sheet, 31 December 2025, cash on hand 7561, money market 3,044. Adds up to about $10,605. And they had a net gain for the year of almost $4,000.
Mm.
So you're suggesting we reduce that
Yes,
to zero?
yes,
Okay,
because there's money there.
okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah,
It's not going to bankrupt them.
Okay, let's put that. in there.
So we're down, looking at 16,000. Just
Okay.
over.
So, I think at some point I think at some point we have to look at, there were a couple others. One was the Ray Center and the other was special details. Let's look, if it's okay with everybody, with the Ray Center. Now, the last information I have on the Ray Center, right now, we are defunding to
Right.
zero, but there is $10,000 there in that special warrant article that they have left.
The cut was check left. That check was cut last week.
So there's nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Do you know what that expense, was that for an expense in 26 presumably, or was that paying bills back in 25?
I didn't ask Leah.
Okay.
Yep.
'Cause- so from what I can understand now, all I have from them, and perhaps Steve, you have something else. I have a January through October 2025 document, profit and loss. And it looks like their operating budget operated at a loss of $15,800.
Okay,
Is that, I mean, that's how I read.
I'm
what
not
was
familiar
presented.
with their financials.
I think this came to us at a meeting,
Right.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm reading it correctly, and that's only through October. So could I presume that that's where they used the previous, I think, what was the total? It was 30,000 over 3 years?
Yeah, an article in 24 for a non-lapsing fund for $30,000 with the intent to use that money in increments of $10,000 for the outward 3 years.
Right,
Now, they've offered to cut from their 34,000 by 10%. So if we notionally reduce that amount that they're looking for by 10%, that's what, it's under $30,000, right?
well, trying to figure out they wanted to cut their budget by 10%, right? So it's not clear to me
Well,
what that bottom line, well, that's our
Right,
stipend.
this is ours.
As opposed to what that design, was it? Now you've got me rethinking, was that asking for a 10% less on our
I think it
stipend?
was 10%
Okay.
less based on this 3,400 was my interpretation.
Okay, do we have that? I know I have it here somewhere, does anyone have it
And,
handy? Okay,
Mm.
give me a second.
Craig called me yesterday and re-echoed that
Okay,
same
here we go.
statement. So
Let's
if we
see.
target, it'd be what, 29.6 or something,
So call it 30. So,
target
let
30,
me see.
we
Yeah.
could find a way to reinstate them.
The Race Center would like to take a proactive and collaborative approach. Understanding that the overall town budget must be reduced by 7%. I'm not sure quite where that comes from, but our organization is prepared to accept a 10% reduction in town funding for the current fiscal year. So
Right.
you're absolutely correct.
Right,
So let's call it 30,000. But they have nothing left, right? They used the last 10,000.
Correct.
And they operated at a loss. I think the year before, January to October 24, they had a profit of 6,000. At least, again, as I understand this document.
it's probably up or down a student or two or
Yeah.
whatever they're doing,
Could be.
doesn't make a lot of, has a big
It's
impact
hard to see that.
percentage wise, right?
So I think my approach to this would be, what can we do to bridge this to next town meeting and then let the town decide if they want to continue to support the Race Center? If I recall from that meeting 2 or 3 years ago, when we put together the special warrant article, I think that was the intent, that we would continue with the stipend. We increased the stipend at that time, I think, to 34,000.
right,
And then we supported the special warrant article for 30,000 over 3 years. And I think the whole intent behind that was to say, at the end of that period, the town needs to decide whether we will continue to support the Race Center in our operating budget. And if they still, in what that number would be, so we're not fooling or, playing around with special warrant articles,
right.
and all of that.
So,
if that's the background, how can we get them to 2027?
well.
I
we
don't see
can-
anyone here
we
from the
can
race
pull
center, right, to
our-
help us.
We can pull 30 from contingency, make that 70
We
Yeah,
could,
yeah,
and put them in at 30.
yeah.
we could do
And
that,
makes
but,
them,
right,
that makes them whole, that bridges that year.
Yeah.
Right?
that's what they're
And
telling
the
us in their
question is,
letter.
is can we get by with that as a contingency?
Well, we already have, that's the problem. We already have two other demands on that contingency, right, that we deferred discussing.
Yeah.
Well, with the reduction overall in the interdepartmental expense lines, I think that contingency line is gonna be needed more
Yeah,
potentially than
that's
ever,
always been my
in case there's some
concern,
emergencies that
Okay.
come up.
because we removed some repair, maintenance
Yeah,
from our operating budget. Now, some of that we can cover in our capital reserve accounts, but those are very limited.
Right.
And what we
Right.
can use those funds for.
Yep.
So
I think notionally. That's what I would suggest, and I would say that we should go through the rest of these lines. We have some we were talking about.
okay,
And then see if we can, let's say we reduce another line, then add it back to the contingency.
all right, let's see if we can.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know that's complicated
No,
on the
well,
brain,
yeah,
but
it's at some point
I'm
become
trying
a
to
bit of
find
a
a way
shell game.
to support them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
um,
No, I'm sorry,
sorry.
no, we're not,
No.
we want to finish our discussions here.
Way to answer those questions.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, that was a good interruption. Thank you. All right, what other areas you guys wanna look at? So we gotta come back to the race center, we gotta come back to contingency. What were the other two?
um, Kirby,
Casting for Kirby. There was one other we were looking at for the rate for taking out a contingency. Oh, that was the, no, that was the 9 month potential for you for
right,
Um,
9 versus 8 months.
9 versus 8 months,
Right, we're on the 9 right now.
right?
That's the one we're working
So
with.
we're-
Where do
we-
we stand on
Just-
the number?
Well, we haven't
We
made a
haven't really done
decision.
much at all.
16,000.
We're at 16, but we still have these
Yeah.
open questions. Go ahead, Wendy.
Getting into the nitty gritty with network services.
Mhm.
It's going from 73 to 90. Is there anything we can trim off that, or is that contract?
Maybe 2,500 to 3,000 was based on providing additional email accounts to board members. So town email accounts for all the planning board members. I think there was interest with one other board too.
Hmm,
So those are the Microsoft Office licenses associated with those.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I mean, there should be official communications.
Yeah, should all be
so
done
that-
on,
but that's 3,000.
should not be
of it,
done
but-
on private lines.
But what's the rest of it? Because 73 to 90, so you get,
So it's all that what the network services line is comprised of is our IT support providers monthly service.
yeah,
And included in that is the replacement schedule for all of our equipment that we have. We delayed replacing our physical server last year to this year. So there's a new server. It's a scaled down version of the one we have right now. I think that was $8,000 and whatever other equipments are coming up.
That's a
on
big
the
chunk of that
replacement schedule.
remaining.
Yeah, it was my hope to have everything in the cloud last year, and that was a
Right.
project that I was trying to accomplish, it just did not get.
And
to
we
it.
deferred it.
Yeah. So hypothetically, if that's a project we can tackle this year, we could again delay that server replacement, but
so if
It's
everything
getting
can get,
old.
if everything can get to the cloud, then we don't need the server.
correct.
How likely do you think it is that everything could get to the cloud?
On
Is
how
that-
likely it is we get a town manager.
Well, how soon?
Yeah.
Right, so you can
So-
turn to
so
it, basically what you're
yeah.
saying, so you can turn to this.
Exactly.
But that is another reason to try to get the town manager in here earlier.
Yeah.
Rather than later. I mean,
If we don't get everything in the cloud and we don't get a new server, replace the server, what kind of risk are we running?
The server right now is 6 years old.
I mean, is it showing signs of not being able to handle the demands that we're putting on it now?
Not necessarily. There's been a couple of blips over the past couple of years, but nothing that is screaming at me.
Right. Smoke isn't coming out of it, it
No
isn't
smoke.
humming and
No weird noises. no
weird
smoke.
noises or
No.
anything.
We have a battery backup on it, so it's protected during power outages. Um,
It sounds to me like this is something we can take out of the budget, but you know, if something were to happen and we're not ready. We have, this is what contingency is for. But again, we're
Right.
leaning heavily on
right.
contingency,
Right.
so.
They do back us up every night over at
Right.
their offices, so,
Oh, okay.
you know,
We're basically just taking a little bit of added risk is the way to look at
So
it.
it sounds like
Right.
it, and
But if we're
then,
backed up at a separate location every day,
Right,
and our server fails. I don't know what the process is to get all of our
get our
data
access
back.
to it, the cost.
I don't know.
well.
that. I know about a new server
possibly
potentially could be,
Yeah,
but I don't know what the whole process is.
It could force us to simply go into the cloud
right,
very
But the-
quickly,
but the bottom
but we're
line,
not ready,
We don't want to do that. We want to be organized when we get there.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the
I
bottom line
agree.
is our, we wouldn't be taking that much of a risk because our information would be backed up somewhere.
As I'm told,
It mitigates the risk.
somewhat.
yeah. I've had to
All right,
bring back big systems
Why don't-
before it's doable.
Cause.
why don't we drop that line then?
Yeah,
So what's the drop total?
so it would take out 8,000,
Is it the 8,000 of that? Yeah,
is that
'cause I think we wanted to keep,
right?
this gonna have any impact on our ability to update and or completely change our website? I mean, that's a constant problem. It's not gonna make a difference.
Not in the network services line.
It still
The,
gives room for growth to still be from 73 to 82. If we're taking 8,000 out.
Yeah,
So-
well, I was wondering if it was in this line.
Oh, gotcha.
the increase to your computer software line from
where it-
12.5 to 15.5
That's what that
is
is.
what the upgraded website cost is represented.
Want to keep that. We need to fix that.
So 82. Okay,
So what are we pushing now?
we'd be down to an $8,000 overage.
7 million. We're getting there. Maybe. Did you have other line items before we go back to, well, we still have to do special detail, casting for Kirby and make a final decision on.
I mean, again, it's
Right.
silly, but housekeeping supplies and buildings and grounds went from 6,500 to 97. Can we get a couple thousand there?
Is that
or
contracted?
That's not contracted.
It's just the.
It's just when
the
you go out-
actual supplies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, I thought we had a contract for,
WB Mason, we buy our housekeeping supplies.
right, but it's not a set price contract for certain things. We just getting whatever they're. I suppose they have a
Trash
different
bag.
charge for municipal services.
Contracted housekeeping thing, but it's more money than we're doing now.
Okay,
Could we maybe skim a couple thousand off? I mean, kind of, I know, bottom of the barrel
Eh,
stuff, but
That's like toilet paper, paper towels, it's Kleenex, it's the
We-
all the floor cleaner, it's. So.
then you're seeing prices go up and that's how you came to.
I mean, if we're talking about these sorts of numbers, I think we need to first decide on Ray and special detail,
Yeah.
because then we can see
You're
how
right.
close we are.
You're right.
And if we're only a couple thousand off, then we find it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
doable.
Everybody pee less.
Well, bring your own toilet paper. Yeah,
I know,
okay,
I'm sorry,
on that,
silly.
I
bit
do
of
have
levity.
one
Yes,
thought
please,
here,
Dan.
A small one. Cemetery groundskeeping, we go from 1,000 to 2,500.
Yep, we've been trying to do little improvements to the cemetery over the past few years. Last year we extended the road, made it a little bit easier to drive on, especially for people who are doing full burials. Looking at replanting, the flowers and stuff that were along there. We don't have to do that this year.
I think that's a place where we're just gonna have to defer from this year.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, this is not gonna impact the drainage issue we had we fixed that, right?
The drainage issue for the cemetery.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, the rhododendrons, and the drainage, those are two issues. We haven't gotten to the drainage,
Got to,
but
but everything else.
we
is-
so that's not part of
That's
this.
fine.
This is more
Right.
sprucing it up.
So if we reduce that, that gets us another 1,500.
You're suggesting to reduce it by 1,000,
Reduce it to 1,000,
or to 1,000?
right?
Megan,
And it doesn't
Yeah,
help
that's
us.
1,000?
But
I mean, it's just
No,
flowers and plants.
it all counts.
So.
Yeah, no, it does, does,
Very diligent.
right?
I'll go buy you some seeds.
Again, I think we need to wrestle with the two big items.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
then we can decide on
Yep.
these minor.
Yep.
1,000 here. 2,000 there. So I guess Steve Larkin's on his way, Daryl, so why don't we turn,
It's on his way.
okay, why don't we turn to special details?
Sure.
Now, we tentatively cut it from, was it 30 to 5?
35 to 5.
35 to 5.
Yep.
And that's what we're getting. So right now, we're at, what did you say, 8,000 over?
Right now.
But that's
we-
including a 30,000 reduction in special details.
$6,589.
Oh, that's right. We just,
Yeah.
all right, so $6,500.
Yeah.
So Chief Noyce, I understand this is a a big deal, a big cut. So
Yeah.
why don't you
So
just say for the record what he
just
wants?
one sec before he
Well, we're not
speaks,
talking.
if I can ask him. He has also commented to us that you have alternative cuts, potentially. Correct.
They've been made.
Those were the ones that were the
That I
20,
sent this
the
morning.
24, the 29?
No, he said he had we have proposed $34,000 in operating cuts.
And that's in
That
these
can
numbers
be-
already.
That was in those numbers.
That's in the numbers we're looking at already. Steve already put those in the numbers.
There was an update I sent this morning.
Okay, that's in these numbers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Go ahead, Chief. Yeah.
So, like I sent the justification, you know,
Mhm.
the outside details are not a cost.
Right.
They're actually a revenue, generating activity for the town. We collected over $42,000 last year in outside details, and we only paid out $28,700. So it was a net gain of roughly just under $14,000 for the town. What it is, you know, not being able to offer these details severely impacts a lot of the income for our officers in order to be able to pick up this outside work, in order to do it in a way that doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. Somebody else is footing the bill to do that. And I know that by reducing that, you're also going to be reducing that revenue stream. An alternative in the way we used to operate this line, along with our ambulance service line,
Mhm.
our billing line, is it was operating in pretty much a revolving account.
Right,
Yeah.
that's the question I think we've all come to. We're wondering about that.
Yeah.
Why did we change or what happened?
So we got new auditors, and the new auditors said they didn't like the way that we were.
Is the current,
we were doing.
or previous auditors or the current auditors that we
Of
had?
what, 3 years ago,
Yeah,
I believe.
just so a point of clarification, the town, to my knowledge, has never established a true revolving account. That is an account that would need to have town meeting approval to be established.
Okay.
Dave is referring to it as the operating budget acted like a revolving
Right, so that's
account.
why the auditor said, don't do that.
Exactly.
Okay, and that why it became an expense
Yeah,
of 35,000, even though the end of the day, it's actually in the black by, what was it, $15,000.
Yeah, 14.
Right, it's a revenue
$14,000
generator.
roughly in fiscal year
Right.
2025.
Right, got
You
it.
know, I would certainly recommend, you know, looking at next year, establishing a revolving account at town meeting for this. And most towns, you know, calling around and getting the information is they use this to pay for police cruisers. And so they're using the revenue generated by the officers to pretty much pay for their own cars or a good portion of them.
Yeah.
You know, we replace cars every 5 years. You're throwing $14,000 a year in there by 5 years. We can get pretty close to be paying
Yeah.
cash for that
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
No, it's a very good argument. And you know, our dilemma is that we can't count that.
Mhm.
And even though it's not only a net zero, it's actually a plus. It's a revenue generator. And speaking just for myself, I don't see this as anything unusual, special details.
Right,
I mean, I worked,
No, it's
with law
very
enforcement
common.
for-
It's common across all municipalities.
Yeah,
It's very.
well,
uncommon
I
not
worked
to.
with FBI for 17 years and this was expected.
Sure.
Because it becomes an important part of, re- income for
Yep.
the family. So I think we obviously need to keep this,
Uh,
not just because I'm saying it's the right thing to do, as well as it's a revenue generating, vehicle, if you would.
When it comes right down to the math, you know, it's. We're going the other direction by eliminating.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's the
when we
dilemma.
Look at the big picture. You know, being able to, you know, it's a net positive program. It's a win-win. It's a win for the officers to be able to work these to create additional income. And it's a positive for the town because it does create revenue.
Okay,
but so just for this year, how can we work around? How can we keep this?
keep the
but-
program.
But take it out of our expenses?
One item that I did not include in the revised budget that I sent this morning is Dave did make a recommendation to reduce that line to 29,000.
So that was what we paid out last year. So if we put it to 2025 expectations of the line, that's a drop of a savings of $6,000.
And dare I say it, if there are 2 or 3 more special details, that can be covered by the C word, contingency.
Yeah, it's, you know, and we.
That would be how we would normally
certainly
do it.
can watch
That's what
that, because
contingency
if
is
we
for,
reach-
right.
We get up to that point, we could say, well, there's no more
Right.
special details.
So you reduce that from 35 to 29,
It would be 35 to 29 would be my recommendation.
okay?
So,
I still am frustrated by this whole thing. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't see
very
why we
frustrating.
can't just keep it at a minimal line item and let the budget go a little bit wonky with the understanding to our auditors, and I know I'm making you cringe and die a little bit inside, Stephen, I'm sorry for that. But, you know, if we explain to our auditors, like, look, this is the plan, and there's really no way to work around this expenditure for this year.
I don't know necessarily, Mark always told me if we overspend our operating budget, he goes to jail.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to avoid.
Yes.
We're
I
trying to
don't
stay
know
at
what-
7 million or under.
Necessarily if that's still true. I just know that there will probably be some negative consequences with the Department of Revenue if we
Yeah,
report that our operating budget is over the $7 million that the town.
it's
approved.
just so frustrating because we're not overspending it. We are,
Yeah, can I just
Yes,
make a quick
I
point?
know.
And I don't know if everyone necessarily realizes municipal government and how our finance works in comparison to the private side. In a private organization, you have a profit and loss statement. I know a lot of people know this, where you integrate both your revenues and expenses into one report to get a bottom line.
yeah,
At the end of the year, how profitable are you? In municipalities, you need to report your expenses in one fancy document called the MS 535 and your revenues in another document to DRA called the MS 636. Those two only interact when you set your tax rate in September. Other than that, those two stand alone throughout the entire year. You can adjust your revenues in September if we're doing really
Which is what
well.
we do.
Yep,
Right.
if we're doing really well in collecting ambulance revenue, or if there's, Brooke is killing it like she normally does in revenues, we can adjust them in September. But that adjustment is just an adjustment to show DRA, what your new tax rate setting will be. So if we're doing really good in revenues, we want to report that so we can offset any impact to your tax rate.
Right.
We cannot do that with our expenditures. We do not have another time during the year to come to DRA and say, we're doing a couple more special details than we expected. Can we up our expenditures? We don't have the ability to do that. So when that operating budget is set at town meeting, it is set for the entire year.
thank
I
you.
just wondering, can I do the research on my own end? Cause I know Campton does that.
Revolving fund,
They put $5,000 in it. They overspend it every year. When I worked there, they did the same thing. And
Yeah.
I.
as a revolving fund.
No, they
No,
don't.
no.
On their budget.
No.
On the budget,
$5,000 in that detail line. They overspend it all the time.
Pat, we can do that too, as
That's
long
okay.
as we have other expenditures that come in under.
if that's what they do, right, with
I know,
seven,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll do the research.
oh, sure,
to find out
absolutely.
what they do. I don't mind.
That would be
Absolutely.
great.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll just call and ask how they
Yeah.
manage it, because I know that's how we used to do it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's
Not
worth,
not helping us this year in this current situation, but I would highly recommend us approaching a revolving
Absolutely.
fund.
I think
For
that's a
this
given.
and also
Yes.
the ambulance.
I think that's
Yeah.
a given.
Because
Get
they
'em off the
also
budget.
increased our budget for the ambulance billing
Right.
services.
yeah,
So it unfairly shows that we're spending more money, but actually that's money.
That's a revenue generator.
That's revenue generating, through the ambulance bill payments.
Yeah,
So I would recommend two funds.
yeah, we may want to look at several others as well. I'm just
That-
surprised we hadn't gone down this road
Well, we
a
haven't
long,
been
a
faced
long
with
time ago.
situation.
Well, just the idea of a revolving fund,
Yeah.
it makes
It
a
makes
lot
a
of
lot of
sense,
Does.
no matter what your
Yeah.
budget is, because you're keeping it off the budget.
Yeah.
Not as a slush fund, you're keeping it off the budget, but you're using another controlled mechanism
Right.
to account for the spending.
Similar to a capital reserve account,
Right.
which we've never done it before. typically.
Right.
and to be able to apply those funds specifically to those.
Yeah,
specific
so
needs.
we definitely have a
RSA
path going forward.
3194 covers
for next
the
year.
Very specific.
All right.
Of establishing a fund, and specifically ambulance services and public safety details are listed in.
Good,
the-
that's where we're gonna go for next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
So-
Dan.
Were we to do this, change it to, what is it, 29,000?
Yeah,
Where would we stand?
Oh, it's gonna up it
it's
to,
gonna up a lot.
Obviously, I'm trying to get a
yeah,
sense of where we
35
stand.
-ish,
We'll be up another 24.
$30,589.
30,000.
Okay,
All right, so 30.
so we show an increase from 25,000 to 35,000 on overtime for the police, and I think that if we're gonna do the other one, I think we should reduce that down to 25,000.
Or 30.
The problem is that is
I mean, I just,
the whole structure. I mean,
know. No, I know.
we
It's
will be
missing
changing
everything.
what has been the,
well,
what has
we
been-
increased it dramatically, right? 25 to 35K.
yeah. Chief, would you like to speak to that?
So,
Well, we spent 37 last year.
Uh,
We overspent that line by $17,000.
Right.
Because, we paid basically the equivalent of two people out.
Right,
yeah,
And so when you don't have the staff, it forces, we have to be here 24/7. You have to fill those positions, you have to fill those.
So, but do you have to be here 24/7?
well, that's the
Well,
other.
boy.
That's why we have the
That's-
overtime it's the per diem, it's the part-time and the overtime that allow us with eight law enforcement officers, firefighters, and emergency medical technicians. That's how we get the 365 24/7.
Correct. My,
So-
my only question to that is then we get into the philosophical question of who's gonna cover it if we're not here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to avoid that. I mean, I think we set out early on in the process that we didn't want to make any changes to how we currently operate. We have a new town manager up because of the budget this year. We have a new town manager hopefully coming soon, and I think we will be looking at restructuring and the
Yeah.
provisions of service and how we're gonna potentially make changes. This is an opportunity we need to take advantage of. But I'm not ready to make a change in how our departments operate. Period, I guess.
yeah, no, I don't think.
No, and I
that's
think
our-
that would be a much bigger conversation.
Yeah, and it has to be
Yeah.
integrated, like if we change DPS, how does that affect DPW? How do we restructure? Are we gonna have the same structure in DPS,
Yeah,
personnel and so forth?
if I recall correctly, it was the board's original intention not to impact existing personnel compensation or recruiting, and right now, as it
Right,
stands,
but,
we're
right.
impacting it $88,000.
Yeah,
that's on the recruiting side.
That's included in that, yep.
Yes,
It's 30,000 in recruiting that we
right,
plan for, it's
And without-
21,000 in merit pay. that's
right,
30,000 in special details if we were to go that route.
right. Okay, so you're including the special details in that 88, okay. Which would drop down, which would change it a bit. So, yeah, I know, it was our plan in order to maintain the services that the town has voted on over the years,
Yeah,
until we do a full review, a strategic change, we would do everything we can to maintain those services.
Yep.
And try to find the money we need in other ways. And that's what we've been doing. So I guess I'm not agreeing with you, Dan, about the overtime. I don't know, Wendy, how you feel about it?
I don't feel comfortable because in addition, Dave, you also know that there will be some impacts to availability
Yeah, I
for your
have-
current staff this year.
I do. I have one staff member is retiring in May. Luckily, we have a trainee that will be starting, soon, but there will be some overlap there. And we have one member of the department that has a scheduled knee surgery.
Hmm.
That's gonna be 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Um,
We really
not
don't
as
have
big of
desk
an
duty
impact
either.
as the previous year.
Yeah,
You know, if you wanted, you know, again, we're running on the risk side of things.
Mhm.
But if we were to, reduce it down to $30,000, we can be very judicious with watching, doing our best with that overtime and trying not to run that over.
but if we do, where do we get the extra from?
Well, and that's,
Contingency.
Contingency is getting to be an awful
I
large
know,
pot.
I know.
How you budget.
It's not how you
No.
budget either.
No,
No,
That's-
no, it's not.
That's,
No,
it's
it's
I
meant,
agree with that.
it's because we're planning to use it, contingencies for unexpected.
Yeah,
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
no, I think we're all agreeing, yeah.
last year was one of the highest years we've ever incurred for overtime. Because of all those circumstances kind of happening.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So if we drop it, where were we, Steve, to 29? On
think it was
the
30.
special detail,
30.
that was 30, and your recommendation, Dan, on the police overtime?
Was to drop 10. I mean, I'm trying to get us down to the numbers we need to be, right?
Yeah, but there are other ways we can
Okay,
look at.
what other ways do we have?
Well, we still have to engage on casting for Kirby.
Yep,
well,
that was notionally what, yesterday we talked about what to pay
6.
for fish and
Well,
6 total or something.
$6,000 in expenses, however, including donations, there's about 4,000 in revenue.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to paint the full story.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and that's the problem. We have a lot of things like fireworks.
Yep.
We had to put 20 in it, even though we were only gonna pay 13. Because, on fireworks, was,
Right.
we put, 17, I
17.
thought we agreed on 13, well, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
it's not. Okay, we were gonna get a
Yeah, we had the 3,000.
3,000 from,
donated, yeah.
right,
People
So-
are stepping up and saying that they will cover some of those costs
That's-
on their own,
absolutely. Good.
so,
We do need to
for the
know
town.
by the end of the month, though, if we are canceling that contract, just a reminder.
Yeah, 1
Right,
April,
the-
yeah,
Yeah.
we had that out.
I think we cancel our contract, but there is interest. I know Greg said he would pay for fireworks.
So if we,
But he could do
if
it
we take
cheaper
the
than-
6,000 out for the casting for Kirby.
Yep.
We're down to what,
24.
24? I think we could go back and look at the full budget. There's 1,000 here, 2,000 there. Maybe we can come up with and get a lot closer to that. And that'll give us, we'll have to, I think, meet again and talk about that. But we'll have a number we're working at, and that leaves us with the race center. A decision on the rate, because that's gonna add. If we don't, right now, we've zeroed it out, right? We're at 24 over,
Ray Center is not funded in this budget.
correct?
Right. And I'm proposing to reduce that contingency. Cover that. Which would put us at 70 on contingency, 30 on race center, and now we still need the 24K somewhere else.
Well, no, we would just shift it. You're going from 100.
Yeah, we still need 24 more, right?
No, because
You said reduce contingency to 70.
To
70.
And then fund the,
Race
Put the race center back
30.
in for 30, so, we.
still need the,
We
24.
still need 24 more.
Oh, the 24 from all these little bits
Yeah.
and pieces. Thank
We
you.
need
Yes.
24 more.
All right, what do you guys think about
I think we
the
heard
race center?
someone from the
Yeah,
race
Steve,
center
I
here.
think Steve Locken, I heard you were coming. Would you like to speak to this issue? Come on up.
Sorry, I'm late. We live in a great community, but activities after school take me out of the valley on a pretty regular basis, right? So I had to drop the kids off. But 4 years ago, I stood before you at town meeting and asked for the support. And for a minute, I just want to forget about what the dollar amount is that we're asking. And I really want to focus more on the Waterville economy of what the Ray Center brings to the valley. We have 4 employees that work either for the town, a local business, or the ski resort, as well as the chief payer's daughter who attended, right? It makes it easier for us as residents to live here. I do want to say 50% of the students that are in the school right now are family members that are related to or have gone through the Ray Center. So that means our families have been able to move here. We go to the pub, we go to the restaurants, we spend our money at Jugtown, we come to Dreams and Vision, we go and get coffees. 3 out of the, how many kids are in after school antics? 19.
Big this year.
3 out of 19 kids went to the Ray Center. Eliminate the Ray Center, you do not have an after-school antics program. Period. You will not have more younger families moving to this valley starting tomorrow if you eliminate this program. Wendy, your 3 businesses, I hate to say this, probably will not survive. I had this conversation with Jugtown, probably will not survive. The younger families are helping this economy. The 30,000 is a small drop in the budget. Al said, I think it's $20 a household. There's greater problems if we eliminate the Ray Center. So if it's 30,000, I highly suggest that we find a way to make that happen. Every year for the past 5 years, we have done a better job fundraising with Ski Joy Galore. We are putting on events with the Ray Center, with the resort, Skin the Moon. We are funding, and we have proposed the 10% over the 7% as what I was told that the town is requesting to cut by. I think it's short-sighted. We'll be back here next year. I don't see the residents leaving and saying next year's a new year and let's go out and spend and make up the differences. We're kicking the can down the road, and losing the Ray Center will be cost effective to the rest of the valley.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yes.
Is a 30,000 the magic number? Could 20,000 get you guys to where you could be with perhaps another fundraiser or something, or changing other costs? Like, is there a threshold that we're looking at?
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? I don't want to speak without talking to the rest of the board. We are talking about, on Monday, we all met. We extended the hours of our summer camp and charged an additional $100 per kid. I think we had 4 families, maybe 6, say, yes, we'd like to go for the extended time. We are getting creative on our side of how we can do this. Fundraising isn't easy. There's a lot of people, BBTS, there's a lot of nonprofits in this valley that are all looking for the same people to pull out their wallets. We've changed our fundraising strategy. Instead of having a gala, instead of having, a letter at the end of the year, please think about us. we're putting on events. Those events are labor intensive on my wife and I. I mean, we've already started planning for next year's Ski Joy Galore, so I look forward to talking to you guys about that as well. I'm not in the fundraising business, but I am doing it because I think that preschool is pretty special for the valley, for the businesses. And it's a feeder for the elementary school. Simple as that. If we don't have that, you don't have after school. We have 50% less students. 2019, we were talking about, how do we bring a preschool in? COVID hit. It was going to cost, I think, $275,000
Right.
to have a town-funded preschool. The population is aging. In a study that was done in 2015, we did it. We COVID did it. There's a younger population here. They're here, and I just
Can I ask a
Okay.
question, Steve? No, I apologize. I know Mark was pretty involved
Mark
with-
was.
with the Ray Center, and he shared with me bits and pieces, and I think there's a component to this that you can answer.
Yeah.
And that is, I know the money all comes from the same place, but is it possible that the school's budget can absorb the expense in any way? Or is the school budget, because they are, and I don't know the legalities, I apologize on this.
Same people.
Yeah, is there something that precludes the school from actually having a line item in their budget that would help fund the Ray Center?
You're talking the elementary school.
Yes, yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I actually asked that question recently, if we could embed it in their budget.
No, I believe-
don't think you can.
I believe
I
that's
heard that.
not legal, as I recall, but we can check on that.
I think,
I believe that was one of the reasons why that was explored, but I don't think it worked legally.
That's what I'm remembering.
So it's very, yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Steve.
All right, thank you.
I think the board is predisposed to coming up with money to support it, although I do think you gilded the lily a little bit about the impact that the Ray Center would have on the town. You had mentioned 20. I mean, I'm comfortable with 30 out of contingency. I just wanted, it's the bridge. I think the plan here is a bridge to next year and then let the town decide.
You want to meet in the middle. I haven't talked to the board.
Don't do that,
Okay. Then I won't.
please. You're not helping.
We're trying to make it possible.
Yeah.
Because
So,
we do view it as important.
Yeah.
I think it's important. It involves kids
Right.
and families, and I think
Mhm.
they're important to all of us. I mean, I never want to sit up here and say that families are not important.
this is your mushroom chocolate.
Yes, I'll do so.
So do we agree we'll take 30 from contingency?
Yep.
And put it towards the Ray Center, but I think, again, the understanding from the board is we need to talk as a town next year about support for the Ray Center, not only in terms of a special warrant article to support the preschool, because that's kind of where that number came from, but also just the support in the operating budget, and the town needs to make a decision. I think that was the plan 3 years ago on it. All right, so I think, we need to go through it. We're looking, yeah, go ahead. I think we're looking for 24. Why
Yeah,
don't we play around with it and come back another time?
I have
Yeah.
one question. Salt.
Yeah.
Salt's expensive.
What was it, $50,000 for salt?
And
Unbelievable. Yes,
here it is, right there.
yeah.
And last year we had 35,000.
Yep, I got
By how much?
say 20.
And that was
Yes.
going 50-50. And you were using less than you originally planned on.
We started the 50/50 at the
For a week.
beginning of this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Well, it was what,
Oh, I see what you're
maybe
saying.
20 or
Okay.
something, then we moved down, right?
Yes. The 50/50.
Went back
Yeah,
to 50.
We went back because
Right.
80/20 wasn't working very well.
Why don't we,
I mean, I
think-
was looking if we could reduce that a little bit, that would help us get closer, because we're still looking for what, 24K?
Yeah, something like that. Why don't we wrap this up at this point and then we can individually go through, see if we're,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to have another
that's the
meeting.
only one I see that's obvious. That would be
Yeah,
even.
well, I mean, we could go back to less salt, but I mean, it is, we have to be careful with that, right? Because there's a salt shortage. That's why the price is so much. And, okay,
I have one more final question before we move on. Steve, if we were to take all of the changes that we've suggested / made today
Mhm.
and apply those to the 8-month town manager salary version of the budget,
Yeah.
where would we be sitting?
10,000 over.
So then we're only looking for 10,000 difference, right?
potentially, right? And that's something we can come back to as well. Yes, go ahead,
If that's the
Dylan.
case, we'll just cut out distribution system maintenance as a whole.
Uh,
Oh, here, because what we're gonna have to eat into the capital reserve, and what will happen is if we eat into it too much, let's have another warrant article next year at town meeting. To replenish it,
all right.
and that's what we're gonna have to do. If the 10,000 is there, it's going to have an impact, but that's.
Right. Well, let's talk about it at another meeting as a potential.
Rich,
Yeah.
I just want to stress that this budget needs to be loaded into the Department of Revenue's portal by March 30th.
Right,
And it
Yeah.
takes a few days to do.
All
that,
right.
Okay.
okay,
So-
so we got next week,
15 days.
we got next week.
One thing about the salt, if we do cut salt, the potential is the OT time will go up,
Sure.
because we'll have to be plowing more.
Well,
Yep. Yeah.
I
And then
think,
the police OT will go up because they're gonna have to come help me more.
so I think we'll get there. I think it'll require another meeting. I already had set one in my mind for sometime next week.
yeah,
We'll finish it off. And vote, I think.
Okay,
Okay.
Dylan, we can visit the Derby. I think, Brooke and I have a consensus that, if it's needs to, we're down to brass tacks that the Derby could go.
The
I think-
Derby's gone.
I think we took it out.
It's
gone.
We took it out.
There's a few cuts, in our line, 2,000 here and there on, that alternative budget, Steve.
Mhm.
You got barley about another
Okay.
$4,000.
So
you
why
can
don't you,
just send us suggestions,
right,
Sure.
specifics.
well, I would say just, why don't they just send Steve, the budget, all the department heads are here. You see what we're looking at. See what you can perhaps squeeze a little bit more, see what that number works out to be. Let Steve know and he can present us with a spreadsheet with those. With that number. Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay, so I think we're done talking about the budget, but I see there are a lot of people here. Does anyone have a question or a comment they'd like to make about this? Well, you talk loud enough. You don't have to, don't worry, but just, who are you?
Zeroing out the library, I think is really a big problem. To begin with, it is not a big expense to the town. It is not a nonprofit that is here in town and asks the town for support. It belongs to the town. The
Absolutely correct.
trustees are elected people. They do not accept any payment for their services. We provide all of the service from that library by volunteers. I mean, you can't just write it off at zero. Books aren't getting any cheaper. And just because they have $10,000 in the bank, if it were me, I'd be putting hot water and a new furnace in there. That is a town building that does not have hot water in the bathroom to wash your hands. I mean, that's ridiculous. I think that just, because it's a little thing, it's written off, and I'm really opposed to that.
Okay. Thank you, Pat. But with regard to the hot water, that's a different line item. that's not what we're talking
And
about.
I'm not,
here.
and I'm not speaking for the trustees.
Fair
I
enough.
am not a trustee.
Fair enough.
I am a
Right.
volunteer.
Right. We have a different account for maintaining the building. It's not the money we're talking about here, but thank you. Anyone else have a comment or a question I'd like to ask? Yes, please. Come on up.
My name's Heather Nickerson, Lost Pass. I grew up here 80s and 90s. I'm back. We moved our entire family here this past July. And I have a question. I'd like to better understand the Ray Center budget because I'm a former CFO of a global security company. I review the 2024 budget available via ProPublica.
Right.
And I'd like to be able to understand better what the town money is specifically being used for, especially when we're looking at cutting other services that the entire town is able to use and enjoy. So just having that better understanding may help all of us have, I think, an informed discussion ahead of the next town meeting.
Yes, I agree 100%. And thank you. Actually reminded me that I kind of hinted at it, but I didn't feel that I had the sort of documents I needed from the Ray Center to make a really informed decision about what their operating costs are and what they expect them to be in 2026. We didn't get that, to my knowledge, this year. So I support you 100%. It's got to be part of the discussion. And this is something we've struggled with the Ray Center over a number of years. We keep on asking for a detailed budget, what was spent and what the planning is, and it's always seemed to come up a little bit short. So
One
please
component,
add that as the condition for the 30,000 maybe.
one component that you may not be aware of is they operate in a town-owned building. We have a
It's
capital
complicated.
reserve account that helps fund
Right.
maintenance to that building as well. So we have, I think, about $50,000 right now sitting in that capital reserve account to help fix, repair, or any damage that happens to that building.
Yeah, the federal tax return on ProPublica was very detailed and it shows kind of the expenses the town puts in.
Yeah.
But there's
Good.
no great detail on how
Great.
is that budgeted
Right.
and then how is that actually allocated.
Right. No, and this was a question 2-3 years ago when the town decided, the select board decided to support, and the town agreed and supported $30,000 over 3 years to help them with their expenses, since they had, at that point, they had pretty much drawn down all their reserves. Yeah, it's a very good point, and we're gonna have to follow through on that. And of course, unlike a town budget, they don't have to reveal anything they don't want to have to reveal unless it's legally required as a nonprofit, right? So. Yes,
Yeah,
Margaret.
Margaret Turner Ring Road. What I'm thinking is that what you have is a piece of paper with a deadline. And the piece of paper has to show the budget at 7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Later on this year, you may find that you have
Mhm.
more revenue than originally planned. And you may be able to balance out this last 24,000 that you're struggling with that. I know you can't count on it, but it seems to me that there's a piece of paper that needs to be filed now, but later on in the year at tax rate setting, you could have some other things going on. You'll know a lot more about how much the expenses
Yep.
are running, that kind of thing, and you may be able to, get through what I regard as somewhat of a crisis at this point.
Yes. No, thank you. And we have talked about it and thought about it. It's a bit of an issue with our auditors about using revenues to plus up the operating budget in a given year, because we still have to be at that $7 million mark, right? In other words, if we get if we have revenue that we think in September or October we can apply to our $7 million budget, we'll end up spending over 7 million, which is we're not allowed to do unless we spend under someplace else. And that's what we're gonna try to figure out at that time. But I think we have to be honest with DRA, obviously, and the auditors now, and this is a legitimate $7 million budget, and we're not trying to count on monies that may or may not show up and then have to deal with the consequences later. I saw a hand. Yes, sir.
Matt Ramsey, hole in the ground at Lost Pass. With respect to like the Ray Center and their needs and whatnot, and it'd be good if we had understood more about the financial situation, because in 2024, they did show 180,000, 190,000 on the balance sheet. But to Margaret's point, if we were to set something like the Race Center slightly lower to still help fund that, but then there are additional revenues, could we not keep the Race Center at that budget number, but then provide additional revenues towards the end of the year at your discretion to augment the needs of the center itself to keep it active? And
As I understand it, as long as we don't go over 7 million in the end, in 31 December.
but that would be a way for you to set whatever you could afford now, but then augment later as we had additional cash coming in from the town revenue.
But augmenting later is contingent upon all the other expenses in the budget as well.
And having lower numbers
You have to
there.
keep it at that 7 million that the town
Right.
voted for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, unfortunately. Someone, yes, please.
Hi, Andrea from Tyler Springs. Is it okay to talk about the trash truck now or later on?
Well, I don't think we were planning to talk about the trash truck, frankly, is what did you want to
As it relates
digress?
to this budget?
What, yeah, what exactly?
I was just asking because this is the second year in a row that we've had trash issues in this town. And I believe yesterday, unfortunately, I couldn't be here because of my work
Okay.
schedule. So I guess I heard that it took 45 minutes to dump a dumpster in town. Is that correct?
So let's do this. Let me finish up the
Yeah,
budget
yeah.
discussion. That would have been a good, I'll go back to privilege of the floor and
Okay.
we'll discuss that.
Just let me know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes. Who are you, Mr. Receipt?
I'm locked in here, so I'm gonna stand right here.
Just
John Receipt,
project.
By Pyramid Way. Today I have my WVAIA hat on,
Yes,
and
sir.
I would like to suggest that we get a funding of $10,000 a year.
Mhm.
I'm a board member. Could I talk to our board about that number?
We're talking about
Very
budget,
good.
so go ahead. Yes.
That's what I'm gonna ask you now. So if we reduce that number, would that help?
Right now, it's reduced from our perspective, it's reduced to
What did we reduce
zero
it?
for our budget,
Oh, so
but
we didn't get any at all.
that's correct. But if you want to address that
Yeah,
issue,
I'm-
please do.
No, I'm just gonna let the board know that, but I was hoping that you would take some of that. As much as we'd love to have it.
We already took it.
Okay.
We already took it.
All of
Thank
it,
you.
but That's okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll let the board know and we'll go from there. Thank you.
very good. Right. Again, we still haven't voted anything, so this is all, we're still in the discussion phase. But as you can tell, we're probably pretty close to where we want to go.
Okay.
Anybody else? Yes, Daryl.
Daryl Fernandez, 22 Flat Mountain Road. This may sound disingenuous given my role. Thank you. This has been hard work by volunteers and this team to get here. And it's not pretty and it's not easy. I came today, I couldn't be here yesterday. I came today to just listen and participate. And it's appreciated. The burden we put on you was not unknown. And it's not easy work for any of you. But I just wanted to personally say thank you for the hours that you put in to get this far.
Well, thank you, Daryl.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
that.
And I think you heard me say we're intent on establishing a financial advisory committee. So if you'd like to go beyond extending thanks and actually get involved in some of this, please let us know. I think we're looking at something like 3 people to work with the new town manager, assistant town manager, and a select board member and won't be just that tax rating, budget, but through the year to go over some of these expenses and whatnot, so. But anyway, thank you for that
On
comment.
the record, so it was.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I think you have some good recommendations. I would just like to hear them someday.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Anybody else would like to comment on, have a question about the budget? As you heard me say, we're gonna come at this probably one more time. Not sure exactly when yet, but it'll be here. Okay, so let's leave it there and come back to it hopefully just one more time and then you vote it out and get it to our masters in Concord. Okay, so that was one item on the agenda. Budget. So let's go back to, I think we had department head reports was I'm sorry,
We're gonna do
privilege of the floor. I'm sorry. Privilege of the floor. You're up.
Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. Thank you for reminding me. Yep.
Okay, so I guess my question is that did somebody state yesterday that it took 45 minutes to empty one dumpster?
Yes,
believe
during
it.
peak season, it. Certain peak.
Periods.
weekends,
Peak
certain
periods.
It takes roughly 45 minutes to dump dumpsters, on the off periods, it takes roughly 20 to 30.
Dumpsters or dumpster, one dumpster
Time, yeah,
for one dumpster?
for one dumpster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, my office used to be like right there in Town Square, and obviously I see the dumpsters all the time in fact. It's like 5 minutes to dump a dumpster back there, so I don't know if you're talking 45 minutes. And the condo associations or,
It's a variety of factors, but definitely this past week, it was roughly, especially with the truck going down, it was a. 50
yeah, we had a
minutes-
lot of trash.
50 minutes per dumpster.
Yeah, and that would make sense because of the trash overflow that there, okay. So has the select board, have you guys ever looked into options of a front loader, one operator automatic trash truck?
Now, the short answer is no,
No, okay.
because of the dumpsters we
Yeah.
have, but that was a while ago, a long time ago, before we bought this
Entire
truck.
change of the whole system dumpsters.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking how
Right.
many decades ago?
Maybe 15, 18 years ago. I
Right.
believe, yeah.
Okay,
So not recently, maybe that would have been a better way to say it.
okay.
Not
So
for
I
some
looked
time.
into it just a little bit and it's about, for a brand new one, it can range for 250K to 300K, but there is some options of used ones about 60K for the front loaders.
Mhm.
I'm just saying in the future, like that is a huge savings and I think it would be a huge benefit for our community to have a front loader dumpster to change, because obviously what we have right now is not working. It hasn't for like the last 2 years. Our truck has been in the shop for weeks at a time.
Yeah, it's a
multiple
single
weeks.
point failure.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what your plan
And even a
is.
front loader, if we have one, it's a single point failure, unfortunately.
And
I mean-
maintenance costs, how big the
Right.
maintenance costs.
I looked
There
at
are-
the
there are
maintenance
issues
cost and it wasn't
dumpsters
that bad
themselves.
at all. But yeah, you'd have to
Well-
change the dumpsters.
Wendy, did you
So,
want
okay,
to?
thank you, Wendy.
Yes.
No, but I think Wendy has been looking at this in
Okay.
terms of a
The
large, a
municipal-
bigger
yeah.
change in how we do things.
Yeah, the Municipal Solid Waste Working Group has been working on this for the past couple of years. In addition to the truck issue, we also have the timing issue of the Beckenham landfill closing April of 2027, so a year from now.
Mhm.
And I think there are a lot of other mitigating factors that, I'd given the board some initial numbers last meeting and I'm not sure that we'll have the time to get into it today, but we're definitely looking to make larger scale changes to our system than just the truck.
Okay, yeah, because I just feel like that would save on a lot of expenses with, you could eliminate a position and then the other costs that you
Right.
have for an employee there too. So it's something if you guys could look into and let us know. That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, and anything you'd like to say on this? You don't have to wait for a select board meeting.
You know
I
where to
think
find me?
the solid,
You know where to find you, Wendy.
they meet regularly. I don't know when your next meeting is, but that would be a good entree point.
Yeah, is your next meeting, is the schedule on the calendar?
It should be
or-
on the calendar, right?
On the town
Here, it's the chair there hiding.
Oh,
Here. April 14th.
April 14th, okay?
9 AM.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Okay, so let's get back onto the schedule. Let's go to department head updates. Megan, why don't we start with you? It is you today, and I got questions.
Okay.
But you tell us what you want to tell us first.
Thankfully, not noticed operationally, but, we did blow a hose yesterday on the trash truck. It did get fixed in a very timely manner. Thankfully it blew its hose right at the end of the day after we were done picking it. So it's taken off at the end of the day, taken to go, get a new hose. Unfortunately, that was not one that we had. We try and keep a few on hand for these special occasions that happen. But it was back up and running at 7:30 this morning, so. Thankfully, no operational
Impact.
impact there. We did lose the left side of the dam, Monday. Flashboards activated, due to the amount of water and the force of the water. We did try to pull blocks, in preparation, but we were unable to. So thus the flashboard.
Too much pressure already?
Or were they frozen in?
Bit of a combination of both.
What was the water level when, before we got all that rain? Were we back at the recommended level?
All blocks in. So
We were above?
we were at maybe a block above summer level.
Really? I thought we were gonna run with blocks pulled unless they needed it for.
Snowmaking, yeah.
Which has been over for quite a while now.
Was not informed snowmaking was over.
All right, we'll need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a communications issue.
Yeah.
That's gotta be.
Yeah. Okay, so the cost, I mean, obviously gonna be repairs. We now have a budget line still that's
Yeah.
gonna cover the repairs.
Yep.
That's the dam repair line. We
I
have
don't know
a,
what's in it, so.
I think I don't think we touched that.
Have to open this back.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, we'll figure it out. But yeah, these are the sorts of things that I'm worried about
Yeah.
when it comes to what's, yeah.
It just, we fixed.
All right.
for-
No, it's not, we can't do that now because of the, yeah, all right. Alan, did you want to comment on this?
Elevation of what the water is right now,
Currently, I
or
believe
before
it's
the
at-
dam broke.
before the dam broke, I hadn't looked at it in a little bit. Last time I looked at it was 17.
Well, then it was way over
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be 50, no, it should be at 1574.5, no?
No, 17.
17?
Is it 17? I believe it's 17.
Yeah.
I have to look at the.
All right,
thing.
we can double check that, but I thought that was the actual. With the dam bureau. Anyway, we'll look at it.
It does make sense to do a recap, though, maybe, you know.
Yeah, we need to come back to
Why we
this issue
have
and
it.
talk about why this occurred and,
I can get you.
I
I'll
don't
go
need to
back.
know.
yeah,
I'm just wondering if you're following your consultant's recommendation,
We are not.
and why aren't we?
I
we'll
don't
talk
have an
about
answer
it.
to that.
Okay, we will talk about that later.
I mean, but this goes to what I brought up on privilege of the floor. There has to be a contract or an agreement with the resort where the water is. And if they want the water higher, they need to be liable for the dam break.
There's nothing in the easement that discusses who's responsible for any maintenance or repairs.
But
That's
aren't you
one of the things. That was one of the things we were trying to fix.
Yeah.
This is an easement that dates back again to when this was a company town. And so there's unlimited water is allowed to be taken from that pond. We have a recommendation from the Dam Bureau to keep it at a certain level in the winter. The select board agreed that the resort told us that they needed some flexibility in that number. It needed to be filled a little, well, not a little, but it needed to be filled higher during when they were making snow, and then they would inform us when they weren't, so we can get it back down to the level. That apparently did not happen.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
Yeah.
But I would add to that if the resort wants you to keep the water level higher than your consultant's recommendation,
Right.
they need to be liable for any damages.
All right. I appreciate your point. Okay, again, we need to review this as a
We
separate
don't even
item.
necessarily disagree with that statement
No.
at all. It's just there's
We need
no
to-
legal agreement in place at this moment that covers that issue.
But
All
you're
right.
negotiating with the resort now, are you not?
Well, we are negotiating that easement, yes, but we haven't
The
looked,
easement says they can take water. they can take as much water as they want,
right,
but you need to keep the water level as high as your consultant recommends. and
Right.
no- And no.
and that's what we're talking to them about. We're trying to be, we're trying to be cooperative in a way that satisfies both safety and their need for water.
No, and that's what you should do.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we just haven't turned to it in a number of months. We've been tied up with some other
Little pesky things.
things, but come see me later. No. All right, Megan, what else did you have?
Put the signs up, the official road posting signs, our 6-ton limit, across town. I also, thank Kristen for posting the notice on the town website. Upon doing that, there were signs, bus stop signs in places we had not seen them before.
Okay, let's just stop there right now. So there are two issues here, maybe. On the weight limitations. I see the shush bus operating on roads that have been posted.
Yeah.
There is, have we any agreement with the resort on their ability to operate? I mean, the state is very specific that what has to, we cannot regulate. Think about fuel trucks and milk, of course, maple sap, of course, that we cannot regulate, we cannot, right. But there's nothing that we've ever discussed or any agreement with regard to, as the shush bus is obviously over. Right?
Overweight. you mean.
Overweight, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think we need to talk about this.
Yep.
I think we need to come to a decision on it. Not necessarily now, but soon.
Is this just an enforcement issue?
Well, it would be.
It would be, it
Yeah.
never has been in the past, because a lot of times by the time they shut down and a lot of times by the time we
Mhm.
post the roads, it's a non-issue
Right.
typically. But in years where we have an early melt and they're still up and running, we've never enforced it.
Do you have a sense for how many stops are along the posted roads?
They have a map.
Right.
And
Which you actually have in front of you.
Oh,
So if you go to the last page, I'm sorry, second to last page, it's the 2026. It's the cart map that's on the New York website.
Yeah.
You can see all the stops. The only roads that are not posted are obviously from 49 to Boulder Path. And then, oh, I have to relook at the map again. Oh, sorry. Give me one second. I should know this off the top of my head. Okay, yeah. So the only roads that are not posted, obviously from 49 to Boulder Path, Village is not posted, and then Packard's to Village is not posted. And then from Boulder Path to West Branch is not posted, but the subsidiary road, Snows Mountain, are.
We need to look at this, obviously. It's not just one portion of the route. It's actually,
yeah.
and actually a number of the routes that we've had to post. All right. Speaking of things to add to our plate. The second thing I wanted to discuss was what road signs moved from where to where? And Chief, do you know anything about any movement of bus stop signs?
I am not aware of any movement. It was the first I learned of it, other than the one that we
Right.
eliminated at the golf course.
Does anybody feel we were not clear about doing that without first checking with you or the select board?
I'm not positive that they are new. I have a suspicion that they are new signs, not new locations.
So
Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you go to the 2025 one that came through from our agreement with them, the one that is posted on their site.
Yeah,
Obviously, we agreed to the clubhouse one being moved from the corner, well, the four-way intersection of Valley Village
Right.
and Lost Pass to move down further. Which you
Uh,
can see,
no, come again on that one.
I thought this,
Which one you talking about?
the
additional one at
the additional one where you added the red
That
line
had-
to it.
We were gonna move it. It was gonna be at the same,
Right.
at that same corner, except they were gonna be a bus stop for two lines. Because the discussion last time, which I was referring to, was that a sign magically appeared further down on Valley Road, and there was no approval sought from the town. And we were told that, well, since we don't take action fast enough, they were gonna do it anyway, not the resort. That wasn't the resort that said that.
Okay. Well,
We said, no, take that sign down or cover it up.
And it was.
And it was, and we made the point that any bus stop road signs is the purview of the select board through code enforcement to determine any changes.
So is it the one by Green Peak condos? that you-
So, well, then we're looking at two. So you have the one that, I'm gonna come up there. That's easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna come in between y'all. Okay. Oh, good. It did highlight.
Yeah.
So this one here is the one I thought was approved to be moved down.
You're talking about 2026.
Yep. So that one moved down. And then the same for the Green Peak was moved down as well. And they also go now, since High Country is all a town road, they go all the way down to this intersection here and stop up here. I'm sure it was an agreement between High Country originally. But since it is now a town road, they go past the designated turnaround that they had and stop up here.
Okay. Comments?
Something else that's good for a recap at the end of the season? I mean, it's very frustrating. I don't understand, but it'd be good to get both sides of the story from the people who.
I don't know what was unclear about what the board stated. And we now have signs moving again.
We need to officially add a select board ordinance on this issue.
No,
I mean, we could.
no, I think it's within power, chief.
You have state law
Yeah, we control.
already.
Okay.
You control any standing or stopping on town roads is controlled by the board.
Right,
Okay.
and so when you move signs, I mean, my original concern, the last time we discussed this, was that was safety. It was a bus stop in the middle of the road, with parked cars
Yeah.
in an area that people would have to walk through in order to get to the bus. It just didn't seem like a safe set, and that's why we have that
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
I think we could solve this with a meeting with the resort
Yeah.
and certainly try to come to an understanding about the number of stops, where the stops are located. And that a process that if they plan on changing those stops, they would eventually have to come in and get your permission to.
Well, and with the elimination of funding from the town side of it, many of these stops may just go away. So it will
But there
definitely,
is that,
we'll
the need
definitely have to
to
have a conversation
a
with.
conversation with
see.
them,
Yeah.
and I agree with all of that.
Let us take a crack at it.
Yeah, but
think
why
it
are
was
signs
pretty
moved now?
clear in the Past, that was the situation.
And to leave
Point
everything
is,
as it was.
They're not following the guidelines.
Well, I think we were working with an entity that was not the resort, so I'm not quite sure that message got.
Well,
conveyed.
that's their internal communication
It
problem.
was some conversation between the two parties, but
Okay.
Yes, we should have that meeting,
Okay.
and yes, we should put the signs back where they were until we have that meeting. That's,
97.
that's,
Yep.
We can handle that, I think.
Yep, so if you can follow through with that.
Yeah.
Dave, and if we're wrong, if something, we're not misunderstanding something, just let us know, but.
Yep.
Please maintain the signs where they were previously agreed to be. If you want to make changes, if it's immediate, they can come to you. They don't have to wait for a select board meeting. We've delegated that, that power to you. And then we do need to have an overarching discussion with them on the shuttle. If not for this reason alone, but the fact that the town is no longer contributing to that operation. Yes, continue on.
Yep, I mean, obviously we had our false spring, we're back to some colder weather. So, we're just preparing for that. Looking like only an inch right now for Sunday is what we're seeing, so
Inch of snow or an inch of rain?
snow is what we're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the only other thing. With Jen in class, she still hasn't been able to do Sundays. Unfortunately. There is an issue on her side for this Sunday.
you're talking about manning the
Manning the
transfer
yeah.
station?
So,
What's the backup plan?
myself.
Okay.
So. That is the plan right now, is for myself to come in. But. In case. It is open a little late, that is why.
If you're having to help take care of the roads, is what you're saying, so getting the 1 inch of snow, and you might be double pulled in 2 directions, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, do we want to give people fair notice now and just change the hours? I mean, it is Wednesday. It's not a lot of time ahead of time, but. Can you estimate when I think it opens up a little later on Sundays, right? 9 to 5, right?
Just. I know there's the people who show up right at 9, so I just wanted to give the notice. It may not, could be a few minutes off.
Why don't we open at 9:30, Mary?
Sounds good.
That's what I was asking. Let's just make the decision and then post it
Yep.
on the website.
Got that, Chris? Thanks.
Anything else, ma'am?
I hope not. I
Okay,
hope I don't have to bring anything else to you.
okay. Yes, Alan.
Can I ask, Megan, how wide, and I know this is off track a little bit, a Boulder Path Road, how wide's the lane of traffic?
The lane of traffic is 11 foot.
So why?
Well, it doesn't look 11 foot now because of the size crumble, but it's 11 foot.
But you're looking for 26 feet of right of way? Is that correct?
That is correct. It's 11-foot lanes and then a 2-foot shoulder.
Alan, we're kind of going through department head reports now. Please, I think you can talk to Megan potentially or Steve afterward.
Okay.
If you just, I'm not sure what the point is, but we really need to get through our department head reports.
Sit on my side.
Dylan?
That's an update. Really, we have regarding the Pacific, I know, actually, I'll save that part for the visual update.
Right, just a, yeah.
Real update I have regarding the operations. Previously I spoke about how we had to have basically our only 2 sludge pumps for inside the facility repaired. It's looking more likely that those are gonna have to be replaced now because of more or less waiting, because we had to have, as you recall, probably a part made up by a machine shop because everything is so old in the facility. That wear in that amount of time, more or less wore out the entire rotating assembly. The bearings ate into the rotating assembly. So more likely than not, that's gonna be a more substantial cost.
So that'll come out of the
Repair, or the wastewater.
the bond, right? Because we have that money. And what was it, 5 million?
That's the authorization.
Authorization, right? How much is that left?
Right, from what we borrowed is a limited amount, and that's something that Steve and I are gonna have to get together regarding going forward.
Okay.
So
We will need to borrow this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For maintaining that plant.
Further funds against that $5 million.
$5 million,
authorization.
and that will be added to the
All
road,
depends on how
road
aggressive
funds.
the
Nice.
engineering folks want to get on the lagoons this year, but
Oh, there's that issue too, right? Okay,
other
yeah.
than that, just status quo and keep it on.
Great, all right. Thank you. Hi, Brooke.
Creation, camp registrations have been coming in. We have a much, greater number of people registered at this point, this year than we did last year at this point. So it's been very successful with that. It's been very busy in the office, just managing and coordinating all of that registration. We have been over the last 2 weeks, been interviewing a few candidates that we have to fill a couple of positions that remain open. We are waiting for further guidance to, hire those folks, make recommendations to hire those folks. Just wanted to give you a status update that we do have people that are waiting, to hear about positions. I think that it would be smart to wait until this budget is established until we do that. We are coordinating some big facility rentals with Warriors and Shine conferences, that will include the field, the gymnasium, the beach. So they're gonna be doing a few different things this year, than previous years, but it's more rentals, that the rec department will be handling for them. And also a lot of work has been going towards refiguring our fees, our prices and fees for our programs. I did, give you a copy of that, but I just wanted, most of them are just, standard increases. However, there's a couple things I wanted to call your attention to. We are going to be discontinuing membership. So memberships is something that I created in 2015 so that we could give people outside of the valley an opportunity to sort of buy a membership so that they could have access to the rec department at a cost. So I think to simplify things, and what I'm hearing from the community is, I think it might be better to go to just guest fee, taxpayer fee. So that's the direction we're going. So we're just.
For the program, basically.
Yes, and yes, and for the recreation department, the open gym programs, all of that. So essentially, how that's going to affect is not going to be a huge effect for the people. It might be an increase, I think, in revenue. Hopefully, that's the hope. And our memberships were kind of down. But for pickleball, for example, that membership will stay because we do have success with that. And we brought in, I believe, $7,000 or $8,000 in pickleball memberships. So that will increase, that fee will increase, but also what I'm recommending is that we start charging a fee to our taxpayers and residents. They can either buy into a pickleball membership for $100 a year or pay a $5 drop-in fee. Currently, we haven't been charging them anything to drop in, and I think that is, I think we're ready and we're there. There are other services that people pay for the rec department, and I think they should be included in that. So that will be a big change to our residents and taxpayers to be paying that fee. So I'm obviously open to any feedback regarding that.
Yeah, Brooke,
Yes.
have you performed a calculation based on, if you will, last year's traffic to the rec, based on the new fees to see how much revenue increase that you might expect this year?
Not yet.
I noticed that you.
No.
I noticed that, quite a few of the fees are a little bit extra, right? Not a lot. I mean, it's going from like 5 to 10 or numbers like that. But overall, that should increase the revenue that you're bringing in.
Yes.
By, I would assume, several $1,000s or quite a few $1,000s
I think
to
so.
help offset.
And that's the goal.
Yeah.
We of course won't have a full year behind us to do that, but I haven't analyzed that yet.
Okay. If you could do that at some point and give us some sense of what we could expect just for planning purposes on our side.
A good point for that would be, I think, in the fall when we go through our estimated revenues.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good time to review that.
At this point, the comparison from this point this year and this point last year is about a $25,000 increase.
Okay.
currently.
Yep.
Well,
That's where we are right now.
Great job.
So that's good.
certainly one of the criticisms we heard was that, want to close that delta between the expense and the revenues. Right, okay.
Thing I wanted to see, there's one other thing I wanted to make a note of. I think that maybe the only thing I'm thinking of is the waterfront boat rentals. I did raise the rate for the guest fee, but I am establishing a lower rate for the taxpayers. We've never done that in the past, and I think we are at a point where we can offer that. So really, it's just the major change is going to be this pickleball drop-in or annual fee for our town taxpayer resident pickleball players.
Okay.
That's, I think, where we're gonna get some feedback.
Feedback.
Where I will get some feedback. And I will share it with you.
So that's okay. You don't have to share.
We're accustomed to that feedback.
Okay,
I
anything else?
think that's all for me, at this point.
All right, thank you. Chief Noise, Dave, what you got?
I just got just to clean up some administrative stuff, the copies of the town ordinances that were adopted. I just need some signatures.
We can do that.
Absolutely.
Alicia and I are working on a current list. To update the whole.
Okay.
Town ordinance, manual, so we can get that updated on the website. And
Great.
out to staff and all that too, but.
Great.
Short-term rentals.
Yep, I see
you
something
were
in front of
given
us.
The
Yep.
revised, rules and regulations. I'd ask for a vote.
Okay.
To adopt those.
I've got one
Oh,
question.
that was-
Sure.
This is what Dave gave us yesterday. The short-term
Oh,
rental regulations.
yesterday.
The now updated draft, the post-town meeting draft.
Changes to the application. Change the language time, the fee, and, reflected the changes in the zoning ordinance.
Et cetera,
and
et cetera.
regulations.
Right. So
So that's updating the regulations according to those, zoning
okay.
amendments.
The question I had was in section 5, Roman numeral V, fees. In light of the town's concern about our budget, and we had talked about this in the past, we decided to up the fee to $50, correct? For a registration fee. It was lower than that prior to this, correct?
20.
It was 20.
Yep.
And I think we heard that some towns charge considerably more for a registration fee on the order of a couple $100.
True.
So I wanted to revisit this with the other members of the board in terms of in context of everything we've heard the last couple of weeks.
Sure.
I'm not sure if there's an average or an amount, but I think this is an opportunity to increase registration fee.
Were you the one that had that research? Do you recall what that number was?
Yeah, you had presented, I just can't remember.
Yeah.
So I had told you, like, maybe $100 if you were doing a 2-year application or something like that.
Yeah, the 150 sticks in mind.
Okay.
As an average.
And we're doing 1 year, right? We're going permitting now just for 1 year.
Correct.
Okay. So I would propose that we up this to $150.
Sure. Absolutely.
We can go higher if you want to.
No, that's okay.
Okay,
150 is
Okay.
a fair compromise. It's comparable to the
Other
surrounding
towns?
towns, right?
yeah, that's the only comment I had on this. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
prepared to sign. I don't know if you want to make a quick change and get it back to us today, or we're all here, or.
Yeah, I can, if I can just get a vote and then I can
Yep.
get it to you for signature.
Okay, so,
With that change.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to sign the draft short-term rental regulations as presented to us with one change, section 5 fees, change the registration fee from $50 per tax parcel to $150 per
Oh.
tax parcel.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, we have put out in a mailer, right? The quarterly was the first quarterly that this was gonna come into effect at the end of February, so we missed that deadline. But I think, and I don't know if Alicia's been getting stuff, but I think as of today, we're there.
It's gonna take a few days just to get the website updated. In the fee schedule, it takes a little bit.
Right.
To submit that, but.
I guess what I'm saying is, I think as of today, we just voted on it.
You did.
This is it.
Yep.
Okay. Even if we haven't issued any permits, but they're waiting,
There were a handful and
It should be
they were
this.
already explained where we were in the transition and.
okay,
Those have been already approved and there isn't anything in our current regulations that would have changed their application.
okay. Very good. All right, What else you got?
Other than that, we're just getting ready. So as ski time kind of winds down, we kind of switch gears. We go a little bit more into training mode. Our annual firearms training, we're doing a combined training in Campton, down at the Campton Range to meet our annual firearms requirements at the beginning of next month. A lot of our members who are due in April for EMS certifications are turning in their cards for their completion of their EMS certs. We do have fit testing for May. For people who don't know, fit testing every year under NFPA, we're required that our SCBA masks be fit to our face. And there has to be a documentation that there's no air leaks, that it is proper. So if there was an incident in a fire, we can show that the mask that they were wearing is properly fitted to their face. Just to highlight, on with a domestic violence arrest from 3 o'clock in the morning, come 9 a.m. as the officer started off bringing this particular person to jail. Our staff dealt with a cardiac arrest call up at the ski area, recalling, being able to recall our staff back in to assist with that. It was quite a save that they did.
I heard you save his life.
Yep. So really proud of the staff that was on duty that day. But just kind of highlights some of the things that we were talking about, staffing. You can't do those, you can't do that with just 2 people. And we have those procedures in place to get more staff here, especially, when we're dealing with police calls and then, really high priority EMS calls at the same time, being able to call on those resources. So just highlighting that because those were some of the conversations that just within. the
Sure,
last
fair
few
enough.
weeks.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if going forward, there's a way that you can continue to highlight that. And I know a lot of it's just part of the job, right? And so
Sure.
you guys just do it because that's your job, but I'm not sure that there's a complete understanding of just how much things ramped up for you guys after COVID and how much it stayed up at that higher level. And I think just making sure everyone's aware of just how your resources are
Yeah.
being used would be helpful.
Chief Pear and I had that conversation today.
Okay.
And it's been a conversation that I've had going back a long time ago with the resort. There was always I had included a police log, so to speak,
Yeah.
for several months. And the desire, there was a position from other interested parties that we didn't want to shed the light on perhaps any of the.
And anything that's law enforcement sensitive, I think.
Yes.
The way I looked at it.
Right.
So we looked at the benefit of that and trying to, find that. So we decided to take that out, just to discontinue doing that.
Right.
we're a different place and it's a different time. And you know, whether it's social media or the wigwag or, I certainly would like to, you know, I think that's a thing that we could probably talk about. And
Yeah,
what
no,
might be
let's-
what the format may look like, what,
Yeah.
and where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job. I was just reminded of like your annual report and trying to that's once a year though, and people may not hear a lot of things, include a really fancy looking graph. But that report you're referring to was really more for the select board to have an understanding of what was going on. It wasn't really meant to be a public, all documents are public, but it wasn't meant to necessarily share with the
Yeah, it was
public.
highlighting our operations to.
Yeah,
the board.
to the board, so
Yeah.
perhaps, I don't know, perhaps the wigwag is looking for like a short monthly blurb from DPS or even DPW.
Sure.
I mean, these are sorts of things that pay pay off in the end if people see more of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, you know, I heard.
And can read it.
Comments yesterday and it just
Right.
highlights, I don't think a lot of people realize what does go on
Exactly.
here and the things that we do.
No, it's,
on
yeah,
On a regular basis. We're
Yeah.
very much appreciated. We very much know that the town has our, supports us, you know, and every aspect of our jobs, but, you know, there's a certain part of the population that I don't think really does know that. So,
Right.
being able to try to get that information out and spread that, I think it's.
yeah, I mean, it could be social media. You have a site, I think DPW has a site, it's another way of doing it. I wonder if though the wigwag reaches more than one, you know, like a town report. They used to have a beat reporter, as I recall.
Yeah.
That reported on the planning board and other town
Yeah.
Sure.
officials, but that seemed, other town official business, but that seems to have been a long time ago.
Okay.
All right, we can talk about it some more. Great. Yep. Anything else, chief?
Other than that, that's all. We did participate in the statewide initiative. The New Hampshire Chiefs of Police asked police agencies to participate. This year, there was a big cuts to highway funding. Highway funding went towards DWI patrol, speed patrols, seatbelt patrols, that sort of thing. And so I was at the meeting for the New Hampshire Chiefs, and as a organization, they asked all departments in the state to participate on their own quarterly for different patrols throughout the year, and they've named the dates. Last night happened to be one, and it was for DWI patrols being St. Patrick's Day. Our officer did participate. She made 9 stops, no DWI arrests, but we did participate. We're one of 63 towns in the state that agreed to participate. It's not any extra for us. We're not putting on an extra person. We're just focusing our duty officer to those activities during that time.
Great.
So, and it's quarterly, so,
Great.
and it's in 4-hour blocks, so it's not a heavy lift
Manageable.
for us.
Okay, great. No, nice to know that. Anything else?
Leave that.
Yeah. Any questions for
I don't think so.
DPS? Oh, yeah, please. Yeah.
If you wanted to vote on those updated prices today, or if you wanted to save that for the next meeting.
I mean,
We can vote on it.
I'm fine with it.
You feel good?
No, I mean.
No, I didn't see any
Well,
problem.
what,
at all.
you made the print so small and I wonder about that. So it's, even with my glasses, I'm having difficulty figuring, what is it? Is that like a 1 inch? No, anyway. No, I'm fine with it.
I'll make a motion
Please.
to accept the Waterville Valley Recreation Department fees, the updated fees that have been presented to us today, without any amendments at this point.
Yeah, I'll second it.
I would just say it's for program fees of 2026.
Right.
Oh, for
Right.
2026.
2026. Right, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Yep. Administrative services, anything you'd like to add?
I just thank you to the team. I couldn't have gone through the last 6 months without the support of Katie Crawford in our finance department, Kristen Fisher, Alicia Harrington, and Jamie Fallman. They've all stepped up to the plate and tried to help balance Steve's workload to the best of their ability and take a lot of weight off of my shoulders. So I just want to say I couldn't have survived the past 6 months without all of your support. So I thank you from the very bottom of my soul. You've been rock stars. So Kristen with the election, with the town meeting, Katie just, continuous, ideas and suggestions around how our budgeting happens and being available at 6 o'clock, 7:30, whenever I need her, even though she works remote, her availability has been unmatched. So Alicia wearing the 12 hats that she wears consistently has been a big, relief off of my plate. And with Jamie helping out here and there on the accounts payable side, it's just been a really, really great team effort. So
well said.
I think on behalf of the select board, I think all of us would echo those same
Absolutely.
sentiments. Thank all of you.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the next item under new business, which is planning board appointments.
Mhm.
So I believe we have 3 in front of us. One is a two for reappointment. I believe John Racine for a membership and I'm sorry.
Is it Mike? Who's the third? Do you have the name of the other reappointment?
Upstairs.
Upstairs. If you wouldn't mind.
Well, it's one of the, it's one of the,
Nancy Knight.
oh, no,
Yeah,
she's not,
Nancy's stepping down.
yeah. It was, my mind is fried for some reason.
Is it not Mike?
Do we have a membership fee? that John can pay? That'll help.
Maybe we'll, yeah, volunteer for this and no, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Pay. No, see, Margaret, do you remember? It's not you. It's not Alan. It's not you. You're good.
Rob?
I think it may be Rob because we flipped around. Yes, it is Rob.
Rob.
Thank you. Because we flipped. We changed because he took,
He went from being an
he
alternate to
went,
a full.
right, during the year. So,
Right.
Rob,
It's not Mike, it's not
no.
the new person.
Well, Anna Sandler will be the new one. That's the new one, right? So she's replacing, in effect, replacing Nancy. No. Oh, Catherine. Yes, Catherine and John. Thank you. I knew I'd remember. Thank you for telling me. So Catherine and John, yes. Catherine Brennan and John Racine have asked to be reappointed as members of the planning board. And we have a new person and Sandler, I believe it is. Who's asked to be appointed to the open alternate slot that had been occupied by Nancy Knight. So those are the 3 names in front of us. I think we can handle them in a batch.
Yeah.
Unless we want to break them out separately.
I don't see any reason to break them out separately.
Do we want to verify now that Kristen's back?
Yeah,
to the-
I'm sure of it. No, I got him.
Is that
Rob?
accurate?
No,
Okay.
not Rob. No, no,
No,
No.
John's a full member. No.
no, you got an old list.
That's an old list. Okay, so
So planning board Kathy Brennan,
Yes,
vice chair.
yes.
no.
No, she's not.
Okay,
He's not.
The
so
3,
why don't we? why don't I
I'm
go
certain.
Nominate, yeah, Kathy Brennan.
Kathy
and
Brennan,
John
because I saw the letters, and John Racine,
As full members.
full members, and Anna Sandler as a alternate member.
Yeah.
Because I had a conversation with her, so I'm certain of those 3 names. And we'll just have to update. Update what you're looking at.
Kathy, Anna, and who's the third?
John,
John.
reappointed. Kathy and for 3-year terms.
Got it.
All of them for 3-year terms. So I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Welcome again, John. Enjoy the next 3 years. Yeah, I'm sure Dan here is looking forward and we can talk about the procedures and whatnot you like. Sign permit application. I think we have one to sign. I couldn't figure out where that was actually. Did anyone figure out? It was pretty extensive looking this is the fancy construction,
There wasn't an address in Waterville Valley. The address was their office in
in
Plymouth.
Plymouth,
So
yeah.
I couldn't tell where. it was.
Couldn't tell where it was.
We had a contractor putting in a foundation. On.
Oh, was that up on Bull Hill?
On Lost Path.
Our place.
Oh,
It's probably Twin X Construction, because I know they put up some sign and then.
Yeah.
Went up.
Yep,
you know,
that's them.
Yeah.
Right, it's just the
Yeah, we
application,
were
they
there
failed
for
to say what
foundation
property.
inspection.
Yes,
Right.
I asked them to-
Right,
The only question I have is, does that sign meet the
well,
dimensions?
Chief passed it to us, so I'm assuming,
I mean, it's,
So there's an ordinance and I haven't seen the application.
oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought you had.
yeah, so it's 48 by 30.
Yeah,
Oh.
That seems
I
rather
thought, okay,
large,
I don't know how this skipped you.
based on what I think the ordinance is smaller than that.
all right, take a look at it, Chief, as we're moving along, and if it doesn't meet, then, let's pull it. And
It's a
you-
nice looking
and
sign.
yeah, no, and if it doesn't meet, let's pull it. It's a temporary sign, for 2 weeks. With a option to renew for 2 weeks, which is standard procedure, and we now can do that on a family home, single family home.
Yeah, but they really should have the local address.
Well,
on the
that's the one thing I
application.
noted was the
Yeah.
local address,
We do need
yeah.
to know where.
So,
The sign is gone. They took it down when the question came up.
Right,
So
but then
it's
they,
not there currently.
okay,
right,
yeah,
but
Well,
they submitted an application without the local address on it.
yeah, so we need just we can, I'm fine, that can be handwritten in if the sign itself meets. If not, we'll pull it and,
I
Talk to
think it
them.
will, but All
right,
I'll
let's-
have to
let's-
double check it.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think, haven't we delegated, if it meets it, do you need us to sign it for a temporary sign? I'm forgetting where we drew the line on the signs. Do you remember, Chief?
I think I could say okay to them unless there was a variance to it.
Right, unless you thought there was
Yeah.
something about it that didn't meet this temporary sign.
Yeah. I would
Ordinance.
ask them to come
Okay.
in to you and ask to,
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
would
the
either
procedure.
deny it or have them come in to see you.
All right, look,
Yeah.
you good with that then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought we did, but I can't remember. Okay, let's move on to old business. Dylan, you're back to talk to us about a brand spanking new, soon to have wastewater treatment facility.
5 years away. Yeah.
It's one of those 5 years away, that's 5 years away every five,
Is it-
It seems like it.
Now,
Yeah.
are we gonna call it Tuckerville
No,
or,
Name it after me.
or Dillonville?
No, I think the agreement with Mark was to name it after him at some point, wasn't it? Anyway,
So on the communication end, I don't really have any update for you.
yeah,
On the legal end, there's still things that we're working out, with our attorney to make sure that, we're not gonna make any decisions that are going to have negative implications for the town, and restrict us from being able to reach an AOC with EPA. Regarding EPA, I have a meeting with them, next.
25th?
Wednesday, 25th. yes.
25th.
And more or less just to hash out.
Hopefully the final box they check so we can get that AOC.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I'm familiar with at least one of the people that's gonna be involved. She's been, to be quite honest, with you, she's been excellent, the interactions that I've had with her, so. No real concerns on that side, but just some uncertainties that cross that bridge when we get there. Engineering wise, Black and Beach is full steam ahead. Looking at the value engineering, they're looking at doing the flows and loads over regarding smaller facility.
right.
They're gonna be moving into final design concurrently. The things that they can move into final design without having flows and loads affect, just to make sure we don't, lose.
Mismatch, right.
Exactly. And so that way we don't lose time. And so obviously time is of the essence now. We don't have the luxury to have a few months slip. That'd be, a drastic change to our schedule.
Do you have a time scale for when they can or will get back to us with, their initial report on this
So
next phase, if you will?
as in reducing capacity.
Yeah, and all that.
I would like to think within at least a couple of months, but maybe as 3 to 4, just to give them a buffer, because they are gonna have to go back and do, you know, quite a bit of DODR portion basis of design report over. But obviously it's time well spent, money well spent, considering the alternative.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's probably where it's gonna fall. Value engineering will probably be a month, I would imagine, because they're gonna, you know, go down the rabbit holes and see what comes out the other end and make sure that they don't flaw in any of.
And that's on the limited list that we
Yes.
agreed to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And short of that, it's really now, Steve and I going after.
Funding.
Yeah, yeah.
I have just one funding update.
Mhm.
So after town meeting, the day after, 8:05, first call I got of the morning was from the state, the representative at the Clean Water Revolving Fund. And she asked me to confirm that we got the $75 million authorization passed, which I told her yes. She said that was fantastic. She asked for our presentation that we gave the town at the information session. And she asked for our presentation that we gave the town at town meeting, and told me that the first week of April, she's going to Washington to advocate on behalf of the town. So that was very nice to hear. That was the first indication that I've ever received from the state that they were gonna advocate for us. So
For the CDF.
Yep.
I
So
told you they were watching.
very, very encouraging news. Shortly after her call, NPR called and wanted to confirm that we had the authorization, which I told them yes, and they also asked for a recorded interview, which I told them I'd be happy to do at a later point. As we mentioned at town meeting, we do need to get the administrative order of consent finalized before we really move forward with a media push of any sort. So both, you know, really, really encouraging pieces of information there. So from a legal standpoint, we did receive some correspondence the board has in their packet.
Oh, you mean from Warren Fitzgerald?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just simply make the point is that I think we said, or at least we're trying to say, that we are relooking at the issue of the town's responsibility for the sewer line up to the ski resort.
Mhm.
And that we already, I mean, it was actually late in the summer when we first got the numbers that came in so high that we began to look at this issue. And in fact, we had really been concentrating since then on getting that AOC. That's the legal line we've been pursuing. Once that's out of the way, it's fully our intent. Matter of fact, we've already asked our legal team to start looking at give us a definitive answer on the town's responsibility for that line. So that is in the works. I've seen emails from folks, and it seems to me they think we're not pursuing that. We've been pursuing it, but it hasn't been the very top thing we've been pursuing, but it soon will be. And it's the same with the engineering. We are pursuing with Black and Veatch. We told them we wanted something with lower flows and loads, and sometime in the next few months, we'll hear that. So those things are ongoing.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rich.
And I'll be optimistic about the money when I actually see the money show up
Me too.
in an account somewhere that we can tap. Right. Okay, so that's it, Dylan, on that. So town manager recruiting update. So tomorrow is the final round of interviews. It will be with the select board. We have 3 candidates that we will be talking to individually between 9 and 6, I think it is
Yeah, it's brutal.
tomorrow, but we decided we just want to do them all on one day. I'd like to thank our committee, the search committee that helped us get to that point. They work with recruiting local, right? Local.
Alex Torpe.
Well, Alex Torpe.
With Rethink Local.
Rethink, thank you. Rethink Local. And the team of Margaret, who was the chair of that committee, with Joan Sweeney and Mike Aronson and Bob Freeze and a couple senior staff members like Dylan and Chief Noise. I think it presented to us when I'm able to read so far. It's a really excellent candidates to choose from. And so hopefully by the end of the week, we will have settled on a candidate that we think we all think will be the one to make an offer to. Yes, Margaret, please.
Staff, talking to them, do you have staff interacting with them?
Yes,
That's in the
yeah.
schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right,
But very limited.
yeah, yeah. that doesn't-
Unfortunately, it's, I think 15 minutes isn't long enough, but we'll see where we go.
Dave and Dylan have seen at least some of them already,
Right.
so, yeah.
Good. So stay tuned, hopefully soon. And some of you were here for,
First thing, I'm not
great.
doing any interviewing, but I haven't met Alex in person
No,
before.
please
so I
come.
thought I'd
Oh.
show up. So
But no, absolutely. You can come and we'd love to have you.
we have a Zoom relationship.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, it's the 21st century, right? So I think you've heard, we're hoping to get someone in as soon as possible. And that was part of our budget discussions and how that'll play out, return to, and what it might take to get someone here with regard to any signing bonus or relocation allowance we may be able to provide them. So town manager recruitment update. Financial report. So is the last couple of weeks, is it?
Expenses and revenues through 3/16.
Yep.
Yeah, the revenues weren't quite compared, we didn't get revenues, I believe it was last meeting, so I was looking, comparing to February 18. And for example, like we got, for this month, we had the water and sewer tap fees as opposed to the system and user charges that we typically see. So, you know, if you look at the 3402 and 3403, they look crazy lower in revenue, and it's just because it's, you know, different lines were pulled. I'm not sure why that happened.
3402 and 3403.
Yeah, those were, we had the tap fees reported as opposed to last time. We had
Oh.
the system and the user.
So I believe Katie reclassed, were you talking in the hundreds of $1,000s before?
Yeah,
Katie reclassed that revenue back to 24 because it was based off the Q4 billing. We billed for Q4 in January. It originally hit the 26 budget and she moved it back to 24.
We're actually, as a reporting,
so they're gonna be also
Yeah, vehicle.
referred to by the different names as well. Like I was thinking tap is in terms of like tapping in, but instead of system charges, it's gonna be tap fees, that's what they're gonna be reclassified as.
No, they should not be. Maybe
Cause
that
it's,
was just.
cause it's 3402-021 that you
Right.
received
Right.
versus 3402-010 from the February report.
Okay,
So I think, and I know.
no
we won't-
plans
we
to
won't-
change.
And we won't be using this format once we finally get a budget set. It'll be easier to compare, but just so we have apples to apples to look at.
Right.
We should have the same lines
Okay.
and the same. Was there something else? No, I guess that was it. And just for clarification, actually, Brooke, a quick question. The field trip week, right, is different than the field trips that you
Yes.
talked, okay,
Yes, it
just,
is.
that's what I thought, I just wanted to, good.
You have anything, Dan, on the
No.
financial report? Okay, let's move on to calendar review. So, tomorrow we have a non-public, a special select board meeting, which will be non-public. As I said, from 9 to 6. Then our next regularly scheduled or regular select board meeting is on April 1st, Monday at 3 p.m. And the planning board next meeting is on 9 April at 8:30 a.m. And we can talk before that.
Yeah.
And I can get your stuff, but you should see Alicia about getting the packet of document, like the procedure manual and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, there's a whole packet they give to new folks. So just ask her to give you the same thing.
Nice light reading for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's okay.
fun stuff. So, the way we left it, we need to get back together again. I don't want to wait till 1 April to
No.
talk about the budget.
No.
My thought process all along, as I've already revealed to you guys, is maybe we actually have a public hearing, get the last input from folks, and then make our decision that day. But if you feel we've got enough exposure to the public, why don't we just lay on a meeting? I know where you're coming from, Steve.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, we live with these people and I don't, you know, I want to make sure that everyone has had their say
Oh,
and not say they haven't been able to make it because of the day or the time. But I'm open to just having another meeting among the three of us and finish up, get the rest of this done and actually voting it out in enough time so that it can be entered into DRA system to meet the 30 March
yes.
deadline, which is before our next meeting.
Yeah.
And we can just move on.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to look at your calendar? Well, first,
It's fine
okay,
with me.
what's your thoughts about just another special select board meeting or have a public hearing incorporated into that?
Either way. I
Because
mean,
we're gonna ask people to
it's-
ask.
I was gonna say is,
Well-
I don't see the huge difference.
Well,
because people
if we
can
do a
come.
public hearing, we usually do it at 6 PM.
True.
You wanna set this as well?
Yeah. If we do that, I mean, the public hearing should be, I mean, that's the criticism we get, right?
Yeah,
That we have these
Yeah.
meetings during the workday.
right.
So I throw that out there. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yep, I mean, I support that.
Can I just say something? I'm not from Waterville, but I mean, from the town meeting where they slashed the budget by $500,000 and said, do what you have to do
Mm-hmm.
to make it work.
Mhm.
I think that's their input.
Okay,
I
that's
don't think-
certainly one school of
I
thought.
think they trust you enough that you're gonna make
I think
that's what they decided.
All right,
I'm of the opinion that we had a couple of very good meetings this week with where people have had a good opportunity to provide input into the budget. We've asked for that and several people have made their points. I can't see that we're going to get a great deal of involvement in an additional public hearing.
Yeah, I
The
think
fact
you're right.
is we've had some of these public hearings and we get 10 or 20
We
people
don't-
showing
right.
up
You're
and,
absolutely correct.
and sometimes, you know, their comments are really akin to this isn't what we want, or this doesn't work, but it's not very productive with respect to specific line changes that we need to make
Okay,
to operate the budget. So I'm really,
it's really a
I
question of
don't
time.
think
I
it's,
think I would offer a contrary opinion because I know that I know as a person who still has to work myself, I do feel like it's beyond inconsiderate to not allow for folks who have to work to be able to come here in person. And you're right, typically they don't. But I don't think that it's appropriate to make all of our meetings at times when folks who have to work can't be here.
For the record too, I've received a flurry of emails over the
Mhm.
past couple of weeks. I've taken hundreds of phone calls, would be
Mhm.
an exaggeration. At least 50 phone calls from people concerning the budget, all who have been very respectful and I appreciate that. But just know that my door has been, as you all do know, wide open for feedback, for suggestions, and I feel like the town, for the most part, has been very cooperative in giving such, so. They have that venue as well.
The only thing we're really talking about is time, I think, because we need to get together anyway to go with the final numbers and the vote on it.
right.
And if people show up, I think we should do what we've done past two meetings is we do our discussing, open it up for some final points, and then at that point, we can finish our discussion and have a vote. That is the essence too of a public hearing. So really, it's just a matter of, we don't have to call it a public hearing, it's a matter of time.
If we have a
Right.
public hearing, are we allowed to take official votes at a public hearing?
So we have to post it for 10 days prior.
Yeah, I think it would
We
just.
we
be-
don't have 10 days. So
I'll say we don't have to make it a public
No, it
hearing.
can just be
Yeah.
a select board meeting that's held at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, so it goes past typical work, people could come towards the end of the meeting if that's when they're.
Yeah.
We'd be asking them anyway, but I think an evening, I know it's not convenient for the staff, and I feel badly about that, but.
I
you
think
know.
6 o'clock becomes a real burden on some of our people.
Right, well, that's what I
Our
suggested.
employees, certainly for Steve and others here who have to, travel out of town to go home at night. So if we could have it at 5 and keep the agenda limited, very limited to
It would
just
just be
this
that
sole
topic.
topic.
That's always that was always my intent.
Without,
Yeah.
Finish it.
Yeah.
Yep.
right.
Just finish it.
I think we have to make commitment to do it efficiently if we can,
All
just
right.
for the sake of the employees.
Can I just pose a
Yes, sir.
question? So, let's say that there is a lot of feedback. Is it the board's decision at that point in time to incorporate all that feedback into the budget and rehash?
No,
this whole thing?
not necessarily.
I mean, but that's where, more or less where I'm going with this is, if that's the case, and that's what you're looking for, isn't that more or less what could come of it? And so if you get the feedback from the public and they don't like the cuts that are put forward,
Mhm.
we're gonna have to revamp the budget, or else what's the intent of having the
Well,
input?
Not necessarily. I think it's more
Right.
that we provide the opportunity for people to be heard in person, to be able to come in front of the board, be seen and be heard in person, because that's just different than an email or a
Yeah.
call.
I mean,
And it's not that it would necessarily sway our decision. We've been hashing over this, and I'm not to discourage anyone from attending, but I'm not sure that it would sway our decisions. But I do think people should have the opportunity to be here and be heard.
and I think, for example, in the case of the race center, hearing some of the comments, I think we were leaning in that direction. So it helped, I think, push us. But then there was a very important point made by a resident that we should be more attentive to their expenses, their accounting, their operating and budget, the yearly budget document, which has their, operating budget and specifically their revenue. So I think that was an important point. It
As
certainly,
well as the broader population,
Right.
we're looking at a narrow population serviced versus the broader population.
that as
There are
well,
other
that was the
costs.
other part of it. So we may not, go ahead, Dave.
Just to make a comment, would it be easier if the department heads work with Steve with the input that you have and come into you at that meeting with the budget?
Well, no, that's the intent. I think that's,
That we're at
Absolutely.
7 million, walk into the room, this is a 7
Right.
million, we review it. And if there's any other comment, that way we're not starting where we left off today.
Right.
well, no, I think that was the
Line by
intent.
line.
Yeah.
No, I think the way we left it is that we gotta find another 20, not 24, what are we down to? No,
25,000.
25,000 that we wanted to we would look, each individually, see something we had questions about, that you guys would do it, and that you would do exactly what you just said, work with Steve and come up with a budget that meets that. It would be nice to know ahead of time, for the board to know, before this meeting, what that looks like. And then compare it to what we may be thinking. And then at that meeting, just have the final, it could be very quick, have the final discussion. If we have any questions about, I think there was some expressed here today, right? About limiting, I think Megan made some points that I wasn't quite sure I wanted to go down that route, but that was the intent. But as Wendy said, it's an opportunity for people to speak, and I think, that's part of our responsibility, and I don't know, democracy is messy, I suppose.
Yeah.
I
But-
would like to, I have received several comments from school
Mhm.
parents that they're frustrated with the timing of these meetings and the inability to come in person and have their.
Yeah.
So that has been,
An issue.
Yes.
It's been an issue, right,
It's always been an issue.
but particularly on this. Yeah, especially when they thought we were canceling summer camps, which was not the case.
Yeah.
Before you're able to get that back in the box. I
It
think,
would be nice to give that opportunity.
yeah, I agree. So I don't know, Dan, you're proposing a 5 o'clock special meeting?
Is that early enough? I
Late-
mean,
late-
I
Late-
figure it's
late
gonna
enough.
run 5 to 7 probably.
No, no,
After school picks up at 5 p.m.
no,
So maybe 5:30,
5:30 would probably be better
yeah.
from that perspective.
just to make sure that they've had an opportunity if they want to, since they have complained. I've seen some of the complaints on social media in that regard.
Gives us the chance to get something to eat.
That's true.
Yeah,
No, that's
well,
true.
and 6 is our usual time we do it. It's what people are,
For all the planning board, public
are
hearings,
used
yeah.
to, 6.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to, we won't make it a public hearing, and I don't think it's gonna take very long. I think you guys are gonna find $24,000. I think it's just a matter of us feeling good about that. We may have some ideas. I think Dan has some others. I think you wanted to roll down a few others as well. And I don't see it as, I see it as under an hour, frankly.
Well, and maybe with a later start, we'll be extra efficient.
Move along. So then the question
So
is,
you wanna start at 6?
yeah, I think how
Okay,
much-
then what day?
well, I was gonna ask, Steve, what, in terms of when you need to get something to DRA, what day next week would give you enough time, assuming no other crises intervene on your schedule?
I have evening meetings on the 24th and the 25th, so either the 23rd would be ideal, Monday.
Yeah,
Does that give
Can you get
everyone
there
enough
on time?
time
What's that?
Can you get there on time with the team?
in terms of
finishing up
budget number?
Thursday,
Just
Friday.
One day, tomorrow's shot for me, so we've got a day to pull it together.
We can do it.
Yeah.
The 26th is too late for you? We got
I'd like 3 days.
3
Yeah.
days?
Yep.
Business
Okay.
days.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I was just trying to.
Yeah.
All right. I can do the 23rd.
Make it work.
Yeah,
23rd?
there goes my birthday plans.
Is that your birthday?
Yeah. 23rd.
Oh.
That's okay. That'll be my birthday present. A special select board meeting, very, very fitting.
Select board meeting on my birthday too, so Dan, you're next.
You're next, right? All right.
Sure.
So 6 PM. 23 March, special select board meeting. Budget discussion, however, whatever you've said before. Well, we can hope. That is the plan.
That's,
Well, I think we have to commit to that, to
Yep.
be honest with you, because we
Yeah.
have legal requirements to get this done.
Yep,
And Steve's gotta be able to do his job.
yep.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, so 3/23/26, 6 PM.
Steve, take a note. Feed your daughter.
If I can get out of here in 15 minutes, that might happen.
Okay.
All right.
I'm,
Anything else on calendar?
Dave's meeting.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Go.
Our calendar.
Oh, with something else, we're gonna go to correspondence and board concerns and directives.
In the appreciation of government efficiency,
Yeah,
reviewing the sign permit. Is
Yeah.
1 square foot larger than what we permit,
yeah.
and it is until the completion of construction.
So,
So,
0 for 2.
so looking at the sign,
It's a nice looking sign.
it's a nice looking
I
sign.
don't have an issue with it, and so I guess on their behalf, I would
I personally don't have any issues with it either.
defer to you
It's
to
just,
Yeah.
whether to allow it or not.
Did they say, but they didn't specify where the sign exactly was gonna go, right?
It's right at the edge of the driveway, right in the.
No, but
just-
the actual address.
Oh, it has well, they probably don't know the address yet, and it wasn't assigned to them because it was an empty lot.
Yeah, it's the one between the villas and the house on Bull Hill, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is right now.
16, she said, well,
Yeah, I mean, I can live with, it's
16 Lost Path.
16 Lost Pass Road, so the second house on the right, second
Yeah,
lot
the
on the
second.
right. And,
Off at this page.
well, I think it has to be on
It's
their
in
property.
the tree line.
Yeah. And if they're gonna put it on Bull Run, it's not like it's gonna be hanging out there on Valley. I mean, on, well, it has to be, Bull Run, right, doesn't it?
It's Lost Pass Road.
It's Lost Pass?
Yeah.
How did they get to? Oh, I guess because the lot goes out.
It's a shared driveway.
That's it. That's it. Okay, yep. Yeah, I mean, in the 2 week limit, I mean, I don't know how long construction, we've usually did what, 2 weeks and 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's
but
temporary or they
think-
want it permanent?
This was filed before, we're getting it now after the zoning change.
Right.
Which allows it. I think this was more for the permanent.
Okay.
application.
So if permanent,
You know, they get to determine how long the sign stays.
Okay.
And right here, the determination was until the completion of construction.
so we're gonna treat this as a permanent
Yes.
sign.
It's
So it
pretty
would rem-
standard.
It would remove the time frame,
Yeah, no, that's, and
and therefore the consideration is 1 square foot over the 9 square feet under the ordinance. It's 10 if you do the calculation.
great way to start the addition of,
I know.
the expansion of our zoning,
know.
to include single-family homes.
It's kind of a hidden location.
It's not a high traffic area.
That's what I mean.
It's
It's not,
it's a much nicer sign than what I
Yeah, it is a
typically
nice
run
sign.
into for construction.
Right.
Yeah,
So I think they're pretty.
all right,
And
Yeah.
the construction company was very apologetic for.
putting it up
They
and
didn't
not
know that it
realizing,
didn't exist.
Yeah.
That the permit process existed, but.
all right.
I think I think I'm fine with it, since it
Okay.
is a nice looking sign, as long as it does look like that, I'm fine with it.
Right, and it's not really, it's that much out of,
Right.
right?
Sure.
I just want to make sure under construction isn't like 2 years.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They started digging the foundation.
I
in the middle
probably
of the-
talking by the end of
in the
summer,
middle of
gotta-
the winter, so.
end of summer,
Yeah.
yeah,
fall,
they got a foundation up, right?
Yeah.
The forms
Yeah.
right now, right?
yeah. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
fine with
so-
it, Dan.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks for checking on that
Mhm.
very quickly. All right.
Okay.
Correspondence, I think we already discussed the one, or I think I mentioned there were a couple other, but they were related, I think, to the either the budget discussion or the wastewater treatment.
Correct.
I don't know of any other, have we gotten any other
I have
correspondence?
not. No.
I don't know. There's so many emails flying around. It's hard.
All right. I don't know, man. So board concerns and directives. Does anybody have anything?
Well, I'm following up on what I gave you guys last time that didn't end up on the agenda.
Oh,
for the
I'm sorry.
discussion. It's okay.
I
For the
apologize.
discussion of the municipal solid waste working group's recommendation of how we move forward. You guys remember about
Yep,
this?
I have
The
it.
two
Yep.
different plans. So in looking further and just also double checking the calendar, I feel like we're under some time constraints, you know, and speaking with Megan about it, there are probable ways in which we could piece together a solution. But with the Bethlehem landfill closing in April of next year, we have about a year. And after this summer, fall season, there isn't necessarily a construction season before that landfill closure next year,
Right,
because it's April. And you know how it is up here. So I'm not sure if initially if you guys had any feedback on this, if this is the way we want to go in making it the transfer station or making the collection process more centralized at the transfer station. If this is a direction we want to move in, Megan is working on sharpening her pencil on exactly how much the ask would be to construct the pole barn, get the electric run to be able to run a compactor in the transfer station location. There needs to be a ramp construction for cars to drive up to be able to
Yeah. just
make
drop
it
things
easy
off.
disposal.
Yep.
Yep, I think as people realized with the open container that was there, it takes a bit of a lift
My
to get up
son
and over
has
in there.
One of those
Um,
places where he has to take his
Has to go-
trash.
Yeah, so you know, there's a fair amount like retaining wall to construct the ramp type
Mm-hmm.
of thing, so there are some expenses involved. especially with all the discussions, if this is something that we want to move forward with, I'm asking you guys, but in my mind, I believe we would need a special town meeting. If
I
there
think
aren't
we,
any,
before we have a town meeting, we have to have at least more numbers in hand.
no,
right?
I'm just laying it all out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we make the decision for that right
I
now.
think we would
I'm
have
just-
to pull, like, public hearings as well, right?
We can
don't believe
decide,
so.
we can decide, on our own whether to have a special, but in this case, we'd have to get a Superior Court judge, I believe,
Right.
to buy
Right.
off on it.
Right,
But historically, what we've done is we would have a public hearing to explain what this is all about.
sure,
So people would, and then why we think we ought to have a special town meeting
Right.
and
But-
then vote on it.
right. And before we even necessarily get to that
Yeah,
special
it's
town meeting
downstream a bit.
question, I'm just trying to lay out the long view because we're in March
Mhm.
and it's really just a handful of months
Yep.
before we once again lose construction windows.
I mean, if that's what we need to do, I'm okay with that.
Well,
I
it's
just
more-
think that obviously there's more homework we have to do first, right?
Right. Yes, and
Yeah.
that's why I just want to make sure we get this on the budget, on the agenda for next meeting. And
On April,
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
you
That-
guys have fully
Yeah.
digested this.
Right.
If we have any more information before then, we can get that to you, but we need to really have a very full conversation about this because it
All right.
could also
Right.
put it
affect,
on the,
it could also affect personnel.
all
Put
right.
it on the agenda.
Well, put it on the agenda first and
Primary
foremost, just to
topic
talk
or
about, this issue.
Right, but
And the
it can't,
costs
and
and
I'm
whatnot.
just trying to be urgent
Right.
about it because it can't slip through the cracks.
Right, we will have it on
Because-
the agenda.
Yeah,
And whatever the latest is, if you want to just give it to Steve,
well, this is what.
That
I
is
gave
the
you-
latest.
This is what I gave you last
last time,
meeting
that's still
to
the,
review.
that's
That is
still
the latest
that is the
still.
latest still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
we'll use that as a basis of discussion on changes to the
Okay.
transfer station.
Yep.
Good, good, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else, Wendy, on
Nope.
board concerns and directives, Dan? Anything
No,
you'd like to bring up? Yeah, I got nothing. And if I did, I don't want to talk about it.
We got a bunch of.
We got
things
another
to
whole
sign,
meeting
I think.
tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We got a bunch of things to sign.
Yeah, we can do that
We
after.
can, we can do it
Yeah.
Okay.
when done.
Are we doing a non?
Yeah, I think we need a
No,
a
There's no
non-public.
vote that is necessary in any of these, right? Okay, yep, we're all set.
All right,
Okay,
so, a motion to go into non-public
for legal or
for, well, for
negotiation?
legal and negotiation
Yes,
issues.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I think just Dylan, maybe we need for it.